Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to round 5 of the Boston Invitational. Boston Invitational to Atlanta, hosted by CardsHQ. I am Jeff Creasy from the Boston Network, here with Josh Snyder from Next Gen Gaming. How you doing this morning, Josh?
Doing very well. Got some decent rest last night.
Yeah.
And ready for a lot of Star Wars Unlimited today because we've got another 10 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah.
In 1v1 that we're going to bring you today. So lots of action coming your way from CardsHQ in Atlanta.
Absolutely, yeah. 10 rounds over 2 different pools. So we're doing rounds 5, 6, and 7, finishing off Pool A that we streamed yesterday. Then we're going to do all 7 rounds of the Swiss of Pool B today. And then tomorrow is all Championship Sunday,
That's
all
right.
Top Cut, all the time. That's all we got going, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be fireworks all day long. It's going to be great, but we've got so many, I'm sure, thrilling matches ahead of us today to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
To see who's going to make the top cut. We've got several great players undefeated right now through the first 4 rounds of this Pool 1, so we've got a lot of exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see some action.
Yeah, and this is the really interesting one. This is the one where sometimes players can get a little tight in a scenario like this, because if you scrub out of top 8 here, you have another chance,
right.
But at the same time, you're signing yourself up for 7 more rounds. So you want to get that Pool B off, where you say, okay, I'm already in the top cut. I can go get some food. I can wait 2 hours for Taco Mac food if I want to. Whereas it can be this mental burden where you're like, oh man, if I lose this game, I have to play 7 more rounds. I have to try to get into top 8, top 16 for the 8K. So yeah, I'm interested to see how the players kind of handle that a little bit, because there's definitely a little bit more pressure. Depending on how you think about it, could be more pressure, could be less, depending on how the players think about it. So I'm excited to see how that kind of plays out. But you've got some data on us for the undefeated decks currently, so let's talk about that a little bit while we get the info for our feature matches and right before we go into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now the 7 undefeated decks. So we have 7 players sitting at 4-0 right now. The only repeat undefeated deck right now is Han 1 Green. We do have a Luke 4 Data Vault, which I think is super exciting. Yeah. Great new deck that picked up some great plot tools. We've got Han 2 Blue Force, been a meta player for quite some time. Mickey, your teammate from Boston Network, he's 4-0 on Padme Tarkin Town. And then we have a Han 2 Data Vault, which is super cool to see that back. That played a little bit of a role before Legends of the Force was released, and now we see Han 2 Data Vault making a splash. And the other undefeated deck is Anakin Skywalker, What It Takes to Win from Twilight of the Republic, paired with Data Vault. So those are our 7 undefeated decks right now.
Yeah, I played against a very similar Anakin Data Vault list from one of the McClunky guys. I believe this is another McClunky teammate. In the 3v3, that deck is really cool. It's got it really surprised me with how much it could buff Anakin out of the green aspect. With blue, we've seen Jedi lightsabers and we've seen protecting Anakin with Sentinels, but green can do things like you have a combination of General's Blade, Hu Yang, Legal Authority. You've got a lot of ways to flip Anakin and then give him a bunch of toughness to say, all right, well, you're not playing Rivals Fall, so you're not killing this Anakin. And cards like the Legal Authority can come in and say, all right, I'm also going to capture your one guy that you could Overwhelming Barrage off of, or that you could attack me in space with, the Anakin Green deck has a lot of interesting tools to combat a lot of these mid-range strategies.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And another thing with Anakin is you get the great ability to trade up with things like the spy tokens now. Yeah, right. You've got Karis Nimic.
That card is so good.
Best 2 cost units in the game, if not the best 2 cost unit in the game now, and you get that spy token that can all of a sudden turn into a 4-power threat against an opposing unit and really trade up super effectively. So it's very interesting to see. I haven't actually looked at these deck lists, but I'm excited to see how they're making use of possible spy tokens trading into their opposing units.
And for the viewers at home, you're not missing any gameplay. What we're doing right now, so this is one tournament that that is taking place over 2 days because we did 4 rounds yesterday. Yep. So what they're doing right now is they're seeding down all the players, and they're trying to figure out who didn't show up.
Okay.
So we're figuring out how many empty seats we have. We tried to tell everyone, hey, if you're not going to be here in the morning, to drop. But also, some people probably either didn't get that memo or forgot, and some people probably slept in. So taking a few minutes here to try and make sure that we have everyone we think we're going to have and see who all we're missing. So, so just sit tight for that. You're not missing any gameplay, so don't worry about that. You just get to sit here and look at us for a little bit longer, so you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's exciting. I think, is there anything for you that stands out in the undefeated, in these 7 undefeated decks? Is there anything that really stands out for you?
I am not surprised that there's Padme.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by the Luke Data Vault. I've seen that we saw that deck on stream yesterday.
Yep.
It was really cool to me how much game it had into Hantu Blue.
Okay.
And I think that's a deck that a lot of people were expecting. I think both of the Hantu Blue, Hantu Green, Han 1, Green specifically, but a lot of people are on Han 1 Yellow as well. I think people are trying to prepare for those decks a little bit. And I think this Luke deck has some really good avenues to fight that Hantu Blue deck, and we saw it just basically be able to outrace it yesterday. And it was really cool to see. So I'm excited about the Luke Data Vault. Hantu Blue, it's always been around, but I still like to see the iterations on it and kind of how it evolves, both post the Force Throw ban and then post Secrets of the Force. Even if it doesn't get a ton of new cards, you still may want to change the deck list to adapt to what you're facing against with the new cards. You know, you're saying, oh, maybe I'm expecting to face up against these Hantu Green decks that are going to try to ECL in the new Queen Amidala unit. So maybe I need to adjust my deck to beat that strategy. Even though I don't want to use the new cards for my strategy, I need to use the new cards or different old cards to try to deal with these new threats that are out there. I mean, we saw things like the defense card -2/2 and draw a card out of multiple decks, where it's like, okay, you know, maybe just giving minus if I have a small benefit, it could kill a spy token. Oh, I got 1 damage on your Queen Amidala. All right, I can -2/2 and kill it, and you can't sacrifice the spy token in response. So some kind of strategies like that have become a little bit more viable. And a lot of people right now, they're just guessing. Like, we haven't even seen Queen Amidala on stream yet. It's just a unit that a lot of people are talking about and trying to game plan against. So what of those strategies actually rises to the top? How many of these new cards? We've seen Aggressive Negotiations be really good. That was one that everyone talked about, and so far it's lived up to the hype. So how are people going to combat these kind of new strategies, and how are decks going to adapt? Is Hantu Blue going to be playing the Aggressive Negotiations, or are they going to be more reliant on removal to not die to it?
Right.
So I think that's one of the cards that's really kind of been warping the meta a bit, and it's been really interesting.
For sure. So you mentioned Queen Amidala, and you weren't casting that round, but we did see it.
Oh, nice.
Because I got tricked a little bit. And with the lighting, I thought it was a prestige Queen Amidala. And I when it first came out, he paid $5 for it, and I thought it was a daughter at first.
Oh, yeah.
So, wait a minute. No, it's Queen Amidala, right? He put the tokens out.
The daughter with spies.
We did see it, right?
Okay.
The cool prestige foil Queen Amidala. But you mentioned Aggressive Negotiations, and I think that's a card that we're going to see a lot of moving forward.
Definitely, yeah.
The scaling potential of that card is just crazy, right? And so that's one of those cards that you could just lose the game in situations where you couldn't before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you have to always be aware of Aggressive Negotiations, know exactly how many cards your opponent has in their hand, look at the units they have on board. Okay, how much damage could I take right now? And there's a lot of times where before this great new set that we got in Secrets of Power was released, you were safe. Right?
Exactly.
With a surprise strike, you were safe, but Aggressive Negotiations can scale much higher than that, right?
And only out of a few decks, too. There were a lot of decks we said, okay, I know this is a yellow deck, but I also know they're not a deck that runs surprise strike.
Right.
And even when they were, you say, okay, I need to worry about +3 on anything or +2 on a ground unit from Hotshot Blaster, potentially.
Yeah.
And that was the math, and that was only against yellow decks. Now, even blue-green villain decks are talking about, do I just run this for 5? Because I get to a point where I have 12 cards in my hand late game, and I have 14 resources out, so who cares? Yeah, I'll pay 5 to give plus 11 attack and just one shot someone.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. And every red deck, you don't know if they're running it or not, so you just have to assume, okay, you have 4 cards in your hand, so that means next turn you could hit me with a plus 5. You draw 2, don't resource, aggressive negotiation, so I have to worry about now a plus 5. Oh, you have 6 cards in your hand? Now I have to worry about a plus 7 next turn. So it's constantly evolving math.
Yeah.
That you just have to keep doing on the fly. And with Force Throw gone, the biggest discard outlet is gone now. So the biggest way to control hand size is gone. We still have cards like Pillage, but the only reason that Pillage was really good was because you also had things like the Force Throws and the other discard cards getting the hand low so that Pillage would get the last 2 cards. If someone has 5 cards in their hand, you don't want to cast Pillage because they're just going to get rid of their worst 2 out of 5 cards. I would much rather have someone get rid of their worst 2 out of 3 cards or 2 out of 2 cards. That's much better ratio than saying, okay, get rid of your worst 2 out of 5 cards. I've made your resource decision slightly harder.
Right.
It's not worth 4 resources at that point.
Yeah.
So the Force Throw ban has really changed all of the math of that. I think that if Force Throw was in the meta, aggressive negotiations would be almost unplayable.
Okay.
Because everyone would still be on massive amounts of discard.
Right.
We saw Jake Shell with his mono yellow CAD doing a lot of discard things. So I think that is a very unique way to look at fighting against the meta and saying, I think a lot of people are going to be drawing cards and playing aggressive negotiations. So I'm going to play this way of new discard, new combating the hand size. And it looks like we are ready finally to get into some round 1 action.
Gameplay. Okay. Awesome stuff. Looks like we're going to have, this is going to be a spicy match, folks. We've got Padme Tarkentown versus Han1 Green. This is Mickey on
D.
the right. Yep, Mickey D from the Bothan Network. And then we've got Philip on the left. And again, Philip from McClunky Gaming, this is our defending Bothan Invitational champion. So he's off to a brilliant start, 4-0 with this Han1 Green deck. We actually saw him come back against that double cunning Cad Bane deck yesterday to close out the day 1. Was down 0-1, came back to take it. 2 games to 1. What a match that was. So Philip he's on a roll right now.
We've seen Mickey do some wild things on stream as well. We saw some games where he had 7+ spy tokens out with this Padme deck. So I'm really excited for this matchup. We know Philip is a very good player, very good at adapting to new situations. I think a lot of people have play tested against Padme, and it's obviously compared to Quinlan because they're yellow heroes and ping leaders that you play with Tarkentown. So they're very whether they're not exactly the same deck, obviously, but they get compared together a lot, and so it's really interesting. I've talked to Mickey a lot about the differences between Padme and Quinlan because he is a Quinlan extraordinaire, and Philip is reading Padme to make sure he knows what it does.
Game 1 is underway. It's Warrior of Clan Ordo, which is such a great turn 1 play because of that on attack, being able to disclose and synergize so well with Padme. We're going to see Philip with that Han 1 action ability on turn 1. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the protective Padawan, coming back out for Philip. We saw him play this card a good bit yesterday, getting that 3/5 unit in the ground arena. Mickey will have the initiative going into turn number 2 of this first game as we kick off day 2 of the Bothan Invitational here at CardsHQ in Atlanta.
Yeah, and for all of our European Bothans watching, we've got a twofer that you're excited about. 1, a Bothan teammate, and 2, a European. So
that's right. So Mickey has the initiative. Again, that on-attack ability for Warrior of Clan Ordo. You can disclose an aggression aspect, and that's going to trigger Padme's ability. We're going to see Anakin Skywalker coming out here for Mickey. A great 3-cost unit paired with Padme. He has Hidden, and he also gets Raid too while you control Padme Amidala. So this is a heavy hitter for 3. Will attack for 5.
Now, there is some interesting tension in Mickey's deck here. Now, we've seen him play. He plays multiple copies of Faith in Your Friends, where you have to disclose yellow, 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 heroism, heroism. And then with the Warrior of Clan Ordo, you have to disclose red. So he's much more yellow-based than red-based. And I think that Anakin play means that he doesn't have a red card in his hand, so he didn't have the the ability to disclose the red. So if he'd attacked with it with the warrior, he wouldn't get the Padme ping, and he would also have to deal 2 damage to his own base.
And when you're working with 25 HP on your base, that 2 damage to base could certainly come into play. So here we go. Another Obi-Wan Kenobi Protective Padawan coming out as the first Obi-Wan Kenobi attacked into Warrior of Clan Ordo, defeating that 2-cost unit. And then it was Tarkin Town from Mickey D to clean up Philip's opening play of this first game, and Mickey still holding on to the initiative, but once again staring down the Obi-Wan Kenobi unit. We're going to see Anakin Skywalker going into Obi-Wan Kenobi with that raid 2, swinging in for 5, only taking 3 back. And now we see yet another Sentinel unit coming down for Philip, Captain Typho, that great new Sentinel. And it's Kira for Mickey. Taking a look at Philip's hand, we see Han Solo, Reluctant Hero, and U-Wing Reinforcement.
I think traditionally in previous sets, you would want to name either the U-Wing Reinforcements here or a card that's not in hand that you're worried about being played specifically next turn if you have something for the Han flip next turn. But this specific iteration of Han 1 Green, with the new cards, it's a little bit worse at the U-Wing Reinforcements, and Han is a little bit better now. And we saw Philip point to the Han, so I believe Mickey did say Han because, yeah, this deck now it's running the 7 it's running is Keller and Beck, so you could get basically a vanilla 7/7 with another 3-drop, or you might honestly just want to try to get a Han unit. So Mickey just names the Han unit to say, okay, you can't play that this turn unless you do something else to kill the Kira, which you're probably not doing without spending resources.
So far, we have not seen any ramp from Philip. He's got the initiative with Captain Typho attacking and defeating the Anakin Skywalker unit, taking 3 damage back. We could absolutely see the 5-6-7 play for Philip here this turn. We'll see if Mickey has a potential response to that line of play. We know that Philip had multiple 7-cost plays in hand.
So interesting, we see a Plo Koon in Mickey's hand, but one of the differences between this Padme and Quinlan is that Quinlan flips on 5, which would turn on the coordinate for Plo Koon. Padme doesn't, so right now Mickey doesn't have coordinate, which would threaten to kill the Han unit. So one of the big differences here between these two leaders is coming out in the deploy cost and how it lines up with this ambush.
Mickey cleaning up the Captain Typho. Han action ability used. Philip getting an extra resource ready from his hand here. We see R2-D2 full of solutions. That OP promo. Mickey D discarding Warrior of Clan Ordo, going and searching for a card. We see another Warrior of Clan Ordo coming out. Han Solo leader unit is deployed.
So Philip could play his Han unit here if he wanted to by attacking into the Kira. He might value his Han leader more and just go for the U-Wing Reinforcements and attack Han into base.
Yeah, I do believe Mickey has just claimed. Did he claim the initiative after that last
I believe
play?
so.
I believe he did. So Philip now just has to decide his line of play.
If Philip does attack
unit
into the Kira, the Warrior of Clan Ordo is threatening to kill Han with the reveal, because the reveal would ping the Han and then attack for 3 more. So he can't even kill the R2 unit without having his Han leader threatened. So yeah, Philip just goes to base.
4 damage first, base damage dealt in game 1. We're going to see 7 total resources for Philip, and there is Keller and Beck. So drawing into a Keller and Beck as well, searching the top 7. Looking for a unit here that costs 3 or less. So far in this game, both players have worked hard at controlling one another's board.
And one thing we know about Philip from the other games we've seen on stream, he will always have a 7. Doesn't matter how many you discard out of his hand, he will find more.
Yeah, never short of the 7-cost plays. Philip has been on a tear recently. So many great performances in the sectors and regionals, but now coming back to Atlanta, trying to defend his title at the Bothan Invitational. We find L337, the 2-cost. We'll get a shield token.
Not the thing you most want to find, but this deck isn't as packed with all of the heavy hitting 3-drops. You still have Millennium Falcon, but yeah, you're not necessarily expecting this Kelleran trigger to win you the game or get this big swing play. You're just filling the board with more stats, and I think Philip's perfectly okay with the shield. Mickey can ping it off fairly easily, but that's meaning he's not pinging the Han leader, he's not pinging the Kelleran back or anything like that. So
Mickey D with the initiative. Pretty threatening ground arena on Philip's side. We're going to see Mickey D. Now he's got that coordinate turned on with Plo Koon, so Plo Koon will ambush with a total of 6 power, taking out the Han Solo leader unit in one action. We know that Mickey D can deploy Padme Amidala onto this turn.
One thing about Philip playing the Kelleran back, when Mickey looked at his hand, he saw 2 7-drops that weren't Kelleran back. So in Mickey's mind, he's saying, I'm very confident that Philip's planning to play another 7-drop here. So he makes sure, he says, you know what, I can guarantee you're not going to get to 7 this turn, and hopefully make your turn a lot more awkward. Your Kelleran can kill my guys, can hit my base for 7, whatever you want to do. I'm stopping you from getting to 7 again, and hopefully you just kind of have to take this turn off. And let's see how Philip responds to that.
Yeah, so important following that big 5, 6, 7 line from Philip, for Mickey being able to shut off another 7-cost play. L337 taking Kira off the board, so that cost increase on Han Solo Reluctant Hero taken away now with Kira defeated.
And I'm curious if Philip even still has that Han Solo, or if he resourced it.
That's a good question.
One of the interesting things about this game, in some games you have perfect hand information once you see their hand. In this game, you don't know. Maybe he resourced it. Maybe he still has it.
Yeah, Philip just 2 cards in hand here. Action back on Mickey. And Mickey's going to go ahead and deploy the Padme leader unit. Here comes Kelleran back, the big 7-power unit. Where does it go? Does Philip try and be aggressive, or do we want to try and control this board a little bit? We are going to be aggressive against this 25 HP Tarkin Town. It's 11 damage on Mickey's base. Yep. R2-D2 cleaning up L337, taking 2 back, a little droid on droid violence.
Yeah, one of the things this Padme deck really wants to do is deploy and put 1 or even 2 sudden ferocities on Padme. She's a 3/8 naturally, but when you give her more attack, she just becomes infinitely more threatening when she already has that massive health barrier. And we saw Mickey hesitating to flip there, and I think that was what he was thinking. Do I delay my flip for a turn so that I can plot out this +3 attack and make her into a 6/8, which is much more threatening than a 3/8?
And also with a pump, of course, Kelleran Beck could pretty easily take out Padme in one action, but we didn't see it on this turn. Here comes the 5-cost Han Solo into the ground arena with ambush. 4 power ambushing into the Plo Koon unit. That's defeated. Pretty good follow-up for Philip, not being able to play a 7-cost unit, still being able to control the board nicely during this action phase. Here comes Padme swinging into Kelleran Beck. Will take 7 back, but just 4 HP left on Kelleran Beck, and that's going to set this play up nicely. Warrior of Clan Ordo will attack into Kelleran Beck, disclosing an aggression aspect icon. That Padme trigger, 1 extra damage to Kelleran Beck, 4 damage taken there. Kelleran Beck unit defeated.
Yeah, Mickey leading into the fact that this Han 1 green deck doesn't play cards like Daring Raid, doesn't have a way to ping units. So sitting there at 1 health is fairly safe. It's still saying you're going to have to you're going to have to kill your Han unit to kill my leader. You're going to have to play something else and ambush in. And yeah, Philip saying, no, you kill my Han. I don't care about your leader. You can ping my guys if you want.
Well, here it is. Mace Windu, the party crasher, after Han gets in for 4, 15 damage on Mickey's base, but that party crasher ambushing and defeating the 5-cost Han Solo unit and readying because it attacked and defeated a unit. So a total of 10 power shown right now in Mickey D's ground arena, but there's the Han Solo Reluctant Hero to answer the ready Mace Windu unit. Han Solo doing great work here taking out a real threat, no damage back.
Yeah, I think Mickey was just really hoping that had been resourced and wasn't still available for Phil.
I feel like Han Solo Reluctant Hero is going to be so impactful in this match, and we see it already. Mickey just claiming the initiative here, needs to find a way to deal with Han.
Yeah, this Han can easily take over the game, and Mickey's also only 10 damage away from death, which is two Han attacks. So either way, Philip has multiple ways to try to close out this game one, either completely controlling Mickey's board and saying you can't play anything else, or saying you have one turn to kill my Han unit. And I think both are viable strategies based on what he wants to play around.
And I believe it's Surprise Strike onto Padme Amidala. Padme attacking for 6 total, cleaning up Han Solo. But you said it earlier, Philip never goes without the 7 cost plays in hand. He's got another Kelleran back. Going to search the top 7 cards. One ready resource here, so could play something like a Captain Typho, but we're going to find a Millennium Falcon. That's going to come into play for free here. Yeah, and it enters play ready, threatening another 3 damage. Cassian and/or smuggled in. That will ready as well, but 18 damage on Mickey D's base. Just 7 HP remaining, which means Kelleran Beck is threatening lethal, and it looks like Mickey doesn't have a response to Kelleran Beck. And game 1 goes to our defending champion, Philip from McClunky Gaming.
Yeah, the Falcon was huge there. It just sped up the whole clock by a turn. Philip was threatening 7 when Mickey had 10 HP left, and the Falcon said, actually, this 7 is lethal. And, yeah, Mickey knew he didn't have an answer.
What a start for Philip. Dominant performance in that first game. Did not take any damage to base. Really was in control of that game from the outset, was constantly asking questions of Mickey, and Mickey was just in a state of defense throughout the entire game 1.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Couldn't stabilize.
There were a couple of spots there where Mickey was close, I think, to turning the corner. Like if Philip had resourced that Han unit, and I think it just goes to show that Philip recognizing how vital it was going to be in the matchup. If Philip didn't still have that Han unit in hand, then I think Mickey could have potentially taken over the board with the Mace plus Padme leader plus the other units he had out. But yeah, Philip recognizing in these colors specifically of yellow red hero, once the Tarkentown is gone, there's not a lot he can do to answer these big units. The normal thing that yellow can do to answer big units is waylay them. But these Han units are Kelleran Beck and Han Solo are not units that you want to be waylaid. Philip says, "Sure, I'll get it back in my hand, and it'll do the thing again."
I'm going to generate more value with Kelleran Beck. I'm going to get more units. I'm still going to take out all of your big threats with Han Solo. It's a tough spot for Mickey to be in, and I think you talked about Tarkentown, and it feels like one of the big ways, not just bounce, that Mickey will be using to clear out these units on Philip's side is pumps, right? We saw Surprise Strike going in, allowing Mickey to clear out a unit, but I mean, it's not really the spot you want to be in as Mickey when you're having to use your pumps like Surprise Strike or Hot Shot Blaster just to take out an opposing threat.
Yeah, and it's usually not even just take out, it's to trade with. So you're basically you're 2-for-1ing yourself because you're saying, I'm going to Surprise Strike onto my unit that's still going to die to kill your unit. And that's not where you want to be. And the other thing is that, we've seen Mickey have as many as 7 to 8 spy tokens out at a time. He made 0 that whole game.
That's right.
So a big chunk of his deck is around discarding or revealing to make spy tokens, which triggers his leader, and he didn't see any of those that game. Interestingly, here I saw that he just boarded out Sudden Ferocity, at least. So he has at least some number fewer in his deck. I think he's recognizing that he's not able to hold up all his resources and flip. He's probably thinking that he's going to have to do more of what he did this game, which is play his units like his Plo Koons and whatever, and then flip immediately there. So he's not going to be able to get the value out of these Sudden Ferocities.
And I think a big reason for that is just the ability that Han 1 has to accelerate these big 7-cost plays. Because when you're able to accelerate these plays, now you're seeing Your opponent has to be more defensive here.
Yeah.
And so I think that's exactly the call from Mickey, taking out one of those sudden ferocities, getting ready for game 2. Unless they just didn't move the initiative token, it looks as though Philip may start with the initiative here in game 2. Mickey opting to send it over Philip's way.
Yeah, I think that's the right call, because if you can't ping Tarkentown all of the 3 drops. We've seen the Obi-Wan be led on for that reason. You can ping Tarkentown the 3-cost Falcon, but also if Philip uses Han action, you then have the choice to say, okay, I can either play my 2-drop now, or I can pass to see what you play for 3. So either way, I think Mickey wants to give Philip initiative, because if he just plays any of his normal 2-drops, then Mickey could ping and Tarkentown those. So it's still putting the onus on Philip, and Mickey still basically has the option to have initiative if he wants it for going into turn 2.
Absolutely. We talked about that yesterday. You know, it's very common for these Han 1 decks to use that Han action ability on turn 1, giving up the initiative one way or the other. Philip wasn't happy with that opening hand, taking the mulligan. Mickey's ready to go. Maybe feeling a little bit more confident here. I do see a Faith in Your Friends in that opening hand, and I'm pretty sure several Cunning cards as well. So we could see some spy tokens this game for Mickey D, which I'm sure he will be excited about.
I also saw an Ahsoka unit in Mickey's hand, which I think could be really critical in this matchup. We've talked about how Han 1 doesn't like discard, and Philip does have U-Wing reinforcements as an event. All of his other 7-drops are units. So when he goes for this 5, 6, 7 Han flip, play a 7-drop, if he only has 1 or 2 cards left in his hand and it's only 7-drop Han unit or Keller and Beck, Ahsoka could both discard that card and tap the Han unit to stop Philip from getting to 7, and potentially just get the 7-drop out of his hand at the same time. So I think I'm not sure if that's sideboard or main deck, because this deck isn't as much about discard as Quinlan is, one of the big differences between the two. But it's interesting to see that in Mickey's hand.
Philip laboring a bit over the resourcing decisions, but we have made them now. And Mickey, after a pass from Philip, Mickey just claiming the initiative here.
And usually that's a snap play from these Quinlan / Padme players. Like, one of the big things they figure out is, do I play the pass claim game into which matchups? You saw Mickey hesitate there, and the reason for that is because he knows Philip mulliganed.
Yeah.
Because anytime you see a player mulligan, you say, well, there's a chance they just don't have anything. So do I still just play my card and see if they just completely didn't get a usable hand or not?
Now we do see the very strong play for Philip. He found resupply here in game 2. Will be a resource ahead of Mickey. Mickey was able to play Anakin Skywalker in the ground arena.
Yeah, and we see the Ahsoka go down, because one thing about the pass claim game is Philip has a lot of options in his hand now. So the single discard where Philip gets to choose and it has to be a unit to have an effect is much less likely to be good when you pass claim on turn 1 and no one used any cards from their hand.
So here we go. It's going to be Han action ability right out of the gate for Philip on this turn, going up to 6, and now we're going to see Blue Leader. I'm guessing Mickey just passed there.
I think Mickey passed,
and then Blue Leader coming out, 5 total resources. That's moved to the ground arena with 2 experience tokens, taking out Anakin Skywalker. We do see Bail Organa, that prestige version of Bail Organa, the 2/4 unit in the ground arena.
I think Mickey passing there makes a lot of sense, because he could attack for 5 with the Anakin. He's threatening to kill the Han with a hotshot blaster. He also had Kira in his hand. So if Philip goes for the flip on 6 resources, he's threatening to kill Han, saying Philip has to spend his resources now. And even if he doesn't have the blaster and Philip's calling his bluff, he could then play Kira to stop Philip from playing a 7-drop. So Mickey there is saying, you have to tip your hand first. I'm going to respond to that. And so Philip, rather than playing a 7-drop, says, okay, I'm going to play a 5-drop, stop your guy that's potentially threatening my leader, and make you have to go from there.
So Faith in Your Friends coming out for Mickey, getting a card out of the top 3 from his deck, and we are going to disclose 3 Cunning and 2 Heroism Aspect icons, getting 2 spy tokens here.
I like this ping a lot from Mickey as well.
To the Blue Leader.
it could be kind of an obvious play to think I'm going to ping the Han leader, I'm going to Tarkentown the blue leader, but Mickey's saying I have a lot of ways to ping. I also have these spy tokens as a backup plan. So now he's saying if my Bale gets to attack, I get to discard and kill your blue leader. If I have to, I can still Tarkentown it, but I can also save my Tarkentown for something like your 7-cost Han unit where I can attack a spy into it, ping it, and Tarkentown. So he's trying to save that Tarkentown, recognizing that he may need to kill a Falcon in space. He may need to kill a Han unit or a Keller and Beck. And with this blue leader 2 HP away, he can afford to take an extra turn to say, okay, I'm going to ping this with my leader again next turn.
Absolutely. One of the great things about Padme versus Quinlan, right? You can choose where that ping goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not specific to a cost of unit. It can go anywhere.
It's one of the reasons that I like Padme a little bit more in general, because there are a lot of decks right now, when you look at like the Han 4 pilot deck, that are trying to just go double 1-drop. That is a huge bane of Quinlan's existence, where they can't ping the 1-drops at all, and they can only they still have the problem that they can only Tarkentown one of them. But with this Padme deck, you can say, okay, well, you played 2 2-1s. I can ping one of them and kill it. I'll ping the other one next turn. So it makes decks like Darth Vader pilot basically unplayable, whereas the Quinlan matchup was pretty solid because Quinlan just can't ping these 1-cost ships at all, and Padme can.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we are going to see Tarkentown here after Philip claiming the initiative. Tarkentown is used to defeat the blue leader unit.
Yeah, Mickey there basically acknowledging and saying, I forced you to claim, you didn't get to attack with your Han, you're going to get to 7 resources anyway, and I don't want you to have the option of letting this blue leader kill a spy token for free, kill my Bale, get 5 damage on my base. But with that ping earlier, he still kind of forced Philip's hand and said, you don't know that I'm going to Tarkentown this. I have options if you don't claim right now.
Such a good point. Philip with the initiative. Han deployed in the ground arena. And just in case you aren't familiar with Padme, that ability is when you discard or reveal a card from your hand. You can exhaust Padme to deal 1 damage to a unit. So now Philip, first action, going to attack with Han Solo leader unit, taking out Bail Organa. Getting an extra resource, up to 7 ready resources here with that on-attack ability, taking the top card from his deck, putting it into play as a resource, and readying it.
And we see the Plo Koon in Mickey's hand, but I think we also see Akira, so he's got a tough decision to make here. Do I kill the Han leader, or do I see if Philip has exactly 1 7-drop that he's going to play this turn? I think I like the Kira play, but Mickey is infinitely better at this deck than I am, so I'm going to default to whatever he ends up doing.
Looks like we're just going to Plo Koon. Okay, Plo Koon with coordinate because the 2 spy tokens in play, those Bothan spy tokens, might I add. Plo Koon taking out the Han Solo leader unit. Still has 2 HP remaining, and now here comes Philip with the 7-cost play, the first of game number 2. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be Han Solo, Reluctant Hero, ambushing and defeating Plo Koon. Han Solo, Reluctant Hero, did so much work in game 1, and now once again pushing Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey did
up
not
against
want
the wall
to
in the corner here.
He was really hoping that was going to be a Keller and Beck, because then he could have Plo Koon attacked it for 6 and threatened any ping. He says, I'm really good against the Keller and Beck. I'm totally fine with you playing a U-Wing as long as you don't hit the Han. I just don't want you to have the Han already. And Phil says, well, I have the Han already, so now what?
And this was that interesting decision point that you were talking about, because maybe Kira would have helped keep that Han off the board for just a little bit, but it's such a difficult decision, so hard to know. We are going to see first action Waylay with the initiative on Mickey's side, bouncing Han Solo back to Philip's hand.
Yeah, and usually you don't want to bounce Han Solo, but Mickey says my 2 units out are 0-2s. If you want to ambush them, then the Han ability of not taking damage back doesn't matter anyway. If you want to ambush into my leader, she has 8 health. You're not going to kill her, and you're going to take damage back anyway.
And keep in mind that Mickey does have 3 ready resources, so we could see something like a Sudden Ferocity plotted here if he still does have some in the deck. So
yeah,
Philip playing yet another 7-cost unit. He's always got them. Keller and Beck coming out, searching the top 7, and we find Obi-Wan Kenobi, the protective Padawan. So Obi-Wan Kenobi will have Sentinel with this when played ability. Padme now deployed.
If we do, I was really hoping Mickey had a sudden ferocity there, because I think the play would have been to put it on a spy token, and that would have been cool to see, and to see if Mickey did that, because you don't have to put it on your leader.
That's right.
He could because if Mickey puts any damage on his Padme, then the Han unit is going to kill it. So now he has to think, how do I deal with this?
So Philip has claimed the initiative. It's another faith in your friends for Mickey, searching the top 3 and drawing a card.
So what this is going to do is it's going to let Mickey reveal 3, tokens. Ping the Obi-Wan, and then both his spies can kill the Obi-Wan. His Padme can hit base and save her health. So then if Phil wants to kill the Padme, it would have to be Kelleran attack into playing the Han Solo unit. This single reveal is actually very impactful, because it lets Mickey attack in this turn if he wants to. Or he could ping the Kelleran. It looks like he's going to ping the Kelleran, and he is still going into the Obi-Wan. Okay, so he's saying you can play the Han unit, you can kill my leader if you want, but I'm going to have 3 readied spy tokens or next turn, which are threatening the Kelleran, could be threatening the base, and I'm gonna give myself some options.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi unit defeated. The other ready spy token going into Philip's base. First base damage pretty late here in game 2, 2 damage on Philip's base, but Philip has the initiative. We know he has that Han Solo reluctant hero. Kelleran Beck threatening 7 in the ground arena.
Yeah, Mickey has no damage on his base, but I think Philip still really likes his position here based on the board control that he has, the Han unit that we know he has. Mickey's starting to go a little bit wide, but Philip also only has to go to 25 and has a lot of options to clean up this board if he needs to.
And another thing with Tarkin Town, that 25 HP, that damage in the race can turn around very, very quickly.
Yeah.
With some of these big plays that we've been seeing from Philip. And that's the thing about these aggression, cunning, heroism decks. They're late game not the strongest. And we're seeing that so far in this match, right? Philip's late game presence just seems to be much stronger, much bigger, more impactful threats than what Mickey is presenting.
Yeah, it's a thing that green hero gives you that red hero doesn't, which is the late game. They're both sharing the yellow aspect.
That's right.
Although Philip has more late game of the yellow aspect in general, with going up to things like the Han unit. But yeah, green really gives you the things like the Kelleran Beck. If you want to have them in your list, you could go up to the home ones. You have the U-wing reinforcements. You have a lot more late game with the green heroism aspects.
7 damage into Tarkin Town with Kelleran Beck. Mickey swinging into base for 3. 5 damage on Philip's base. There's the Han Solo reluctant hero once again, ambushing and defeating Mickey D's leader unit. We do see 1 spy token starting the process of dealing with Han Solo. We're going to see Han Solo with 2 damage on, and then Mace Windu coming in to crash the party, ambushing and defeating the Han Solo unit, readying with that ability. And now it is a race, folks. We're going to see a total of 9 more damage coming through to Philip's base. 14 damage on Philip's base as Mickey edges ahead here in this race in game 2.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that we saw last game, where Mickey's saying, I'm totally fine leaving my big units here with 1 health left. If you have a Han unit, 1 damage or 6 damage, it still kills it. And you don't have your Daring Raids, you don't have your pings, you don't have a Tarkin Town, you don't have a way to deal that last damage that isn't throwing a unit into this. So you deal with it, I'm going to hit your base.
Philip will have the initiative going into this next turn. We've got 7 damage being threatened on Philip's side, but 9 damage being threatened on Mickey D's side of the board.
And Mickey's been holding on to this Kira basically the whole game as well. So I think he might be waiting for when the resources line up, and when it's a pivotal turn where he says, you have to have another Han unit, you have to have a blue leader, you have to have something. So I'm going to see what you have and make sure that it can't hurt me.
Philip working with a few cards in his hand here. And we're going to see a smuggle first action for Philip. Smuggling hotshot deal, 44 blaster onto the Kelleran Beck. 9 damage coming through at 16, which means another attack from Kelleran Beck would finish the game. Just 9 HP remaining on Mickey D's base. We see, I believe that is the 3rd copy of Faith in Your Friends here in game 2.
Mickey has friends everywhere.
He does. Mickey's a pretty friendly guy himself. Searching the top 3, gets a card. Very likely going to see a disclose here. 3 cunning, 2 heroism aspect icons. The disclose that needs to be met. We get 2 more spy tokens.
Interesting, in the disclose, we see both Bamboozle and an Infest Nest unit. So that could affect Philip's plays a lot. Where something like a blue leader, the blue leader is probably going to kill the mace anyway. But you see the Bamboozle bouncing the blaster is not what you want to do, but it means if Mickey has initiative, he can immediately stop the Keller and Beck attack. So he has the option of, do I want to claim, or do I want to kill this Keller? And he's also now threatening to just kill it with the Mace Windu itself, which I think, yeah, that's what we see here.
There you go, Mace Windu attacking into Keller and Beck unit. Both units defeated. And now Philip, after using that Han action ability, went to 7 ready resources, and guess who's back? He's back again. Keller and Beck, 7 cost, 7/7. No ready resources here for Philip, so we're looking for something that costs 3 or less. We saw him in the first game, a late game Keller and Beck find that Millennium Falcon piece of junk and immediately threaten more damage. Of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi wouldn't be bad here as well, because that would put a Sentinel in the ground arena for this phase.
We do see the sudden ferocity, and there it is.
Oh, Philip missed on the Keller and Beck. Sudden ferocity on the spy token. Now that spy token is going to get a hotshot blaster as well. And it is just going to trade with the Keller and Beck. The other spy token getting into base. 16 damage on each base. Mickey D has complete control of the board with 3 spy tokens as we head into the next action phase.
I think they realized he didn't replace the smuggle from the blaster, which is, I think, what they're asking if he did or not. I think that was the point there, and it looks like they got it.
Okay. Wow, what a game. Mickey D fighting so hard to give us a deciding game 3 on this beautiful Saturday morning in Atlanta.
Yeah, Mickey's really showing how much this Padme deck can fight through. We talked about how it doesn't have as much late game, but I mean, we just saw a spy token deal 7 damage to a Keller and Beck. He's really showing this deck has some reach, and you think that these spy tokens is middling until you realize that they're hitting your base for 10, 15 damage a turn, and now do you have to attack your 7/7 into an 0/2? What do you do about this? It really is posing some interesting questions for Phil to answer with this Han 1 green deck.
So now Philip needing to restart here. No units on his side of the table. Still ahead in this race, though, because he does have 5 more HP on his base. Philip will make the first play. Paying a number of resources here. It looks like he's exhausting 6 resources. There comes the 7. Of course he's got the 7. Of course he's got another Keller and Beck. I would be crazy to believe otherwise. Keller and Beck.
He can't whiff twice.
Once again, no way he whiffs again. He whiffed last turn.
3 open resources. You can play a 6 or
That's
less.
right.
I don't think it's possible for him to whiff at this point.
I think at this point it would just about be impossible for Philip to whiff. Could play a unit that costs 6 or less off of this Keller and Beck with those 3 ready resources.
No, he could choose not. Potentially, he only sees 4 drops and has a 3 in his hand that he wants to play more. So he could choose not to play one, but there's no way for him to actually miss, I think.
That's a great point. Let's see what he finds here. Such a great game. We're being treated to a thrilling game, too. He has found the Obi-Wan Kenobi protective Padawan, and that's a big play. That is Sentinel in the ground arena for this phase. We are going to see R2-D2 pitching a card from Mickey's hand. He'll go searching the top 3.
Yeah, and that's big because it means now if he wants to, he only has to trade 2 spy tokens or 1 spy token plus a hotshot blaster in to kill this Obi-Wan, as opposed to trading in all 3. So it does help.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely right. When you discard a card from your hand, you can trigger Padme. So we are going to see that Padme Amidala triggered ability. Where does the 1 damage go from Padme? It is going to go into Keller and Beck here. Keller and Beck, 6 HP remaining. Philip still has some resources. It's going to be Millennium Falcon. Get out and push. Going to try and help Philip push across the finish line here in Game 2 and remain Undefeated. Mickey D just claiming the initiative.
He might have done that because he has the Bamboozle, so he may want to play that first action. He may want to do something like a Waylay, and he might just say, I don't want to give up 2 spy tokens into this Obi-Wan, which is why he pinged the Kelleran back instead. He says, I don't think you have another Force unit. We've seen all 3 Kellerans. The other ones, I believe, have to come from the sideboard for this Han 1 green deck in terms of playing another Force unit.
And we are going to see Bamboozle on the first action, a free Bamboozle, discarding the Emphas Nest, exhausting Kelleran Beck.
And pinging Obi-Wan with the discard.
And going to ping Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan being pinged here with that Padme triggered ability. So 4 HP remaining on Obi-Wan Kenobi that doesn't have Sentinel for the time being.
Now, if Philip has something like a Han Pilot here, that would be huge because it gets to attack with the Falcon in 1 action and gives +3 attack for that. So it's basically a pseudo surprise strike that leaves a lot of its stats on the Falcon.
And then would be threatening lethal.
Exactly.
Philip has the next action. It's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Unit coming across. 19 damage on Mickey D's base. Just 6 HP remaining. I can do math.
So Mickey's counting up his damage. He has 8 on board right now, which would take him up to 24 and be 6 damage off. So he would need 2 surprise strikes, 3 blasters, something like that.
We're going to see Spark of Rebellion. But a pretty full hand, and Mickey just doesn't have a response to what Philip is doing here. Philip is going to take it in 2 games. Philip Samuelson, traveling from Europe once again, our defending Boston Invitational champion, moves to 5-0 here in Pool 1 of the 8K.
Yeah, Mickey sees that he has both Han Pilot and Surprise Strike and the Falcon, so Mickey can't fight through that. Either way, whatever he takes, he's taking 6 damage from the Falcon this turn, and all of Philip's units are lethal next turn. We are going to go immediately into another backup feature match here. Ooh, we've got the Anakin Green Data Vault.
Anakin Data Vault. I have to admit that of the 7 that were undefeated, that was the one that interested me the most. I played more Anakin Skywalker in the Twilight of the Republic meta than I did any other deck, so I love to see this leader. Fantastic showcase. Showcases on both sides, but definitely love the Anakin. So we've got more Han 1 Green, which Han 1 Green really seems to be a powerhouse right now. We saw it win last weekend, the opening tournament of Secrets of Power over in Europe, that small invitational tournament. And now this weekend, again, it's been doing very, very well.
Yeah, you look at Han 1 and Han 2, and both of those leaders like to resource cheat, but they do it in different ways. Han 2 says you damage your units, so that deck plays cards where that's a boon, where it says, okay, I'm going to play Ogdo Bogdo damaged. I'm going to play Grogu damaged. And Han 1 says you have to give up cards from your hand, put them into your resource row, and you get card advantage. So that utilizes things like 7-drop units, which Han can get to very easily. Or I'm going to utilize smuggle cards, where I'm putting cards into my resource row, and then I can still play them. So it's really interesting. Both leaders resource cheat, but they both do it in different ways that lead to very different deck builds, even in some similar colors.
So here we go. This game is underway. Han 1 Green versus Anakin Data Vault. And just with the discard tokens here, I know this is Kevin on the right. Kevin, great guy. We got to talk a little bit yesterday and this morning. He's having a great time here in Atlanta. We see that turn 1 stolen AT hauler, a Bounties Hunter Quarry put on the AT hauler. We've got Cobb Vanth coming out in the ground arena for Anakin, and it is a turn 2 resupply for Kevin.
Yeah, so we'll see here. It's interesting to put the Bounty Hunter's Quarry on the stolen AT hauler when there's no space units now. I think he's just saying that was resource efficient for the turn, and I'm going to kill it eventually. And then I'm curious how much Kevin is going to dodge the ground arena here, because he doesn't want that Cobb Vanth to trigger. He doesn't want Eric to get these free looks at all his units, and also it attacks in for 5, so it can kill a ground unit.
Look at this aggressive start. Surprise strike being played. Stolen AT hauler swinging for 7. 11 damage on Eric's base. Oh, look at this. He's got Champs and Dula. Great card against this Han 1. Matching resources going up to 5. We've got Millennium Falcon coming out ready. Another 3 damage. These players playing at a blistering pace. It's going to be a total of 14 damage on Eric's base.
Yeah, both players realizing that they have about 11 minutes left and they don't want to draw this round. Everyone wants to get into the spot where you can either double draw or have your winning end for the top 8. And if you get a draw now, it can really mess up that math. And yeah, Cham Syndulla is so good in this Anakin deck because it's not just Han 1 with the Han action, it's the green decks with the resupply. It's if you're playing any of these green villain decks, the Cham, even in the main deck for this Anakin, is so good. And also, Cham gets to attack in for 7, so he can go and kill most leaders with the Anakin ability. So he can hold leaders hostage and help you ramp to catch back up against a lot of decks.
All gas, no brakes so far. That Han action ability allowing Kevin to go ahead and deploy the Han Solo leader unit, get in for another 4, 18 damage on Eric's base, just 15 HP remaining. Eric does have the initiative.
We see a hotshot blaster in Kevin's row. I would imagine Eric is going to kill this Han leader as quickly as possible, considering he's still staring down 7 damage in space. But it's a Sentinel in front of it instead.
Yes,
that's
protective Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi unit coming out. We'll have Sentinel this phase. But right now, that space arena unimpeded. We're still looking at a possible 7 more damage. It's going to be Bamboozle from Kevin, exhausting the Cham Syndulla, mitigating quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I like that Bamboozle play a lot
Cham.
because what Eric wants to do is saying you have to attack your Han into my Obi-Wan and then my Cobb can kill your Han leader. But Kevin's saying, I don't have to attack into your Obi-Wan if I don't want to. You're going to have to do something.
Oh, he's got another Bamboozle. Anakin Skywalker deployed, had +3 power, was threatening for 7 with Overwhelm. Back-to-back Bamboozles for Kevin, exhausting the leader unit. And look at this now, Kevin in a big advantage here in this race because he still has the space arena with another 7 damage. What a great tempo turn this has been for Kevin.
I think that's too much disruption. I don't know if Eric can come back from this. He's got a lot to do.
He does. Hu Yang is going to come out. Hu Yang giving Cobb Banth +2/+2. 4 more damage with AT Hauler. It's 5 damage coming through to Kevin's base with the Cobb Vanth because it has +2/+2 while Hu Yang is in play. But again, it's another 7 damage from the space arena. It's 25 damage on Eric's base. He has just 8 HP remaining.
Yeah, there are 2 4-power units, and he needs to stop one of them from attacking. We also know that Kevin has a hotshot blaster, which Eric has to assume he might have by now as well. So it's interesting because Obi-Wan does not have Sentinel now unless he plays a Force unit here, but then that's going to make it harder to stop the space units from attacking.
Oh, he's going to play a Sentinel. He plays Captain Typho, the 4/5 Sentinel, but here comes Stolen AT Hauler, another 4. 29 damage on Eric's base. That Bounty Hunter's Quarry has just stuck on the AT Hauler this whole game. Eric has just not been able to answer it and take advantage of that bounty.
But the big thing here is if Kevin can't get lethal, he's currently 1 short. This Anakin is hitting for a lot of damage, and he might just be able to end the game this turn.
You are absolutely right because now with 25 damage on, Anakin is +5, but we've got a pilot. That's the Chewbacca pilot on Millennium Falcon. 6 coming through. Eric can't answer it. Kevin undefeated on stream so far this weekend, and he's going to remain undefeated here in this tournament with Han 1 Green. Han 1 Green. Wow.
Yeah.
2 undefeated Han 1 Greens.
Yeah, really well played by Kevin. We saw him there saying, I don't think you can answer space really well. And we've seen some of the answers that this Anakin deck could have. Like, I think if Anakin had Legal Authority in hand, that would have helped him a lot. Any kind of effect to stop the one hit. Mm-hmm. I think that Kevin actually needed that pilot to win the game that turn, or Anakin was going to be able to take it. So that was really interesting, a really interesting matchup. And we saw even with a giant damage discrepancy how close that game was because Anakin said, well, now I've got 20 power on the ground, so you better end this game pretty quick.
It's crazy. Yeah, Anakin was getting ready to swing for 9.
Yeah.
So just crazy because he gets +1 power for every 5 damage on your base. So that is the danger, right? If you can't close out the game, Anakin Skywalker, what it takes to win. well, he's got what it takes to win. He's got all the power when you get all the damage on the base.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
What a fantastic match. And Han 1 Green just on a roll right now. We've got both of our Han 1 Green players moving to 5-0 here in the 8K. So great start for that deck. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. That deck is just still – it's been so good for a long time, and without Force Throw, it's just continuing to prove to be a powerhouse, and it just got a couple new tools from Secrets of Power.
Yeah, absolutely. And it not only got the tools, but it's like I was talking about with some of the other decks. It as what it does, it lines up so well into what the other new decks are doing. The other decks that got new tools, this Han 1 Green is good at dealing with those new tools and answering the good cards, as well as just getting a couple of upgrades here and there to really put it over the top. And so yeah, it's really cool to see Han 1 Green have this this resurgence in this set.
Yeah, well, you know, rotation in 4 months, so players got to enjoy their Han Solo Audacious Smuggler, because really the interaction that it gives you and the explosiveness of that deck is the potential is really through the roof. So
yeah, absolutely.
Great stuff. Again, it's been a fantastic weekend so far. If you're ever in Atlanta, or if you're going to be in the area this weekend, come stop by. We've still got a lot of great events. You've got the Pool 2 event that's going to kick off later today, Pool 2 of the 8K. We've got a Draft 1K event tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic. 64-player Draft 1K. That's going to be super exciting. Check out CardsHQ.com. They've got tons of great product. If you need Star Wars Unlimited product, they've got accessories, sealed product, all that you would need, and they've got a great prices right now on all their product, but they've got a good sale going on some sealed boxes, Twilight of the Republic, Jump to Lightspeed, and Legends of the Force. So get yourself some great discounted product on CardsHQ.com. We've got about 4 minutes left in this round. I think we're going to take a short break, and we will see you back for more action here at CardsHQ. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the live stream here at the Bothan Invitational in Atlanta, Georgia. We are getting ready for round 6 of Pool 1 of the largest prize purse in SWU tournament history, the 8K here. We've got another feature match coming your way. I'm Josh Snyder, and this time in the booth, I am joined by none other than Jonathan Fisher. Jonathan did a lot of casting at the first Bothan Invitational. He's back here now to cast with me this round, and we're excited for that. How you doing, Jonathan?
Yeah, doing great. Came down to play with some numbers, do some data, make some cool charts for us, and, just giving Jeff a break for an hour.
Awesome. Well, we are going to get right into this match. It looks like we're going to see another Anakin data vault here. Pasquale from McClunky Gaming versus Mackay from Colorado Cantina Crew on Sabine ECL, the classic aggro deck of this format. Now, this is not really the turn 1 play that we want to start with, but nevertheless, it is a turn 1 play. Jar Jar Binks coming out for Mackay. Unfortunately, that when played ability going by the wayside, and it's Sabine Wren, the explosives artist, coming out for Pasquale.
Yeah, I love these Sabine matchups. I think it's exciting. Like, are you going to be able to outrace them? Can you survive this Anakin flipping and hitting them really hard? Can you just close the game out quickly? He's got so much help on that base.
Yeah,
it's a fun. There's a lot of fun tension in these matches.
Jar Jar Binks quickly getting into Pasquale's base for 2, just 1 HP on Jar Jar. So we'll see what Pasquale decides to do here, if he decides to do a little board cleanup, or if we be aggressive with the explosives artist. It is going to be Sabine going into Jar Jar Binks. The on-attack ability will deal 1 damage to Jar Jar, so no damage back to Sabine Wren unit. We've got Blue Leader coming out for Mackay, that beautiful Prestige, and it's going to be Red 5 in the air for Pasquale, so both players pivoting to the air on turn 2.
Yeah, we saw Pasquale take a moment to decide where to send that Sabine. It is interesting thinking about, okay, what's in my hand? Let me draw out the lines. Should I just go straight to base? Do I need to clear the board? He took a moment, decided to clear the board. I mean, that's where you're normally going to go, but I like taking a moment and checking in with yourself to make sure that that is the right path.
Again, love seeing this spicy Anakin data vault. Mackay with the initiative, 3 quick damage into data vault with Blue Leader. And now Red 5 is going to take out Mackay's space unit with the attack there. 3 damage on Red 5, just 1 HP remaining. But so far, Pasquale's got to feel pretty good at how he's controlled the early board. Really not the optimal turn 1, turn 2 so far for Mackay. As we see the first Sabine action ability, 1 damage to each base.
Definitely not. We have 2 units on Pasquale's board. There's no units there. We've only put 6 damage on that huge giant base. It's not a great place to be. I think if I'm the Sabine player, I'm starting to think about game 2. How am I gonna win?
How am I pivoting here? How are we winning in game 2? Nevertheless, it is the turn that Mackay can deploy Sabine here. Still has 4 resources to work with. We're going to see that beautiful showcase displayed here. Sabine Wren, leader unit deployed. We're going to see Jar Jar Binks being plotted out here.
This is where you want him.
This is exactly where you want Jar Jar Binks. Misa proposed that Sabine gets +2/+2 for this phase, but look at this play. Captain Typho, the Sentinel for Pasquale, and then it is a Yoda's lightsaber being put onto Sabine. So Sabine has +5 power for this phase. The 2-cost Sabine unit for Pasquale, attacking and taking out Jar Jar Binks unit once again with that on-attack ability.
So much work. Now we have a Sentinel, and the Sabine declined to attack into the Sentinel.
Yeah,
right.
Mackay,
that's what we're seeing. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. Yeah, Mackay just claimed the initiative, giving up that additional +2/+2 that Sabine leader unit had from Jar Jar Binks.
Lots of fun opportunities when you play Jar Jar as well.
That's
just
right.
A little voice acting over the table.
Absolutely.
You gotta get into it.
I'm not good at that part, but Jar Jar's so much fun.
You're not gonna do that on stream right now? Give us a little Misa Jar Jar.
Oh, come on, Jonathan. Don't put me on the spot. CoDameron, quick to improvise, coming out, the big threat. Look at this.
Yeah, it is interesting also, these ECL decks where they get to save their ECL for a big play instead of having to use it to trade an early unit against aggressive decks. you can have this really big impacting play dropping this Poe.
Yeah, that energy conversion lab, epic action, allowing Poe to be played from hand, giving an ambush, taking the Sitzel unit away from Pasquale, discarding a card to deal 2 damage, 2 red, 5, taking Pasquale's space unit off the board.
So, I mean, Poe's a big threat. We have an easy way to clear it if we chose to right now. You know, Pasquale looking at his hand. He looks like he's thinking about playing a card. So does that card stop the Sabine attack so it can't clear his Sabine unit? I don't know. Let's see what he's doing here. Is he going to ambush? No? Just trying to think what if you don't send the Sabine unit, you don't want it to get cleared.
Yeah, it's an interesting question here for Pasquale that he has to answer. 2 very big threats in the ground arena. Sabine leader unit still ready right now with 5 power, can deal 6 total to base with the on attack ability, but of course Makai could take out the 2-cost unit as well if he so chooses.
There's also the tension against Anakin players of pushing so much on their base but not quite closing them out and creating a giant Anakin. It's
right.
Just going to smash you.
It's a great point.
Flip.
Here comes Huang. Huang is going to have that win plate ability, give the Sabine 2-cost, the explosives artist, +2/+2 while Huang is in play. So now Makai with the decision to make. Are we okay with that +2/+2? Sabine leader unit is going to attack and defeat the explosives artist.
I imagine Pasquale to take that line must have had a plan for the Poe. It could be just claim and clear it, you know, with what he has there.
Another 1 damage to base with the on attack ability from the Sabine leader unit, so able to clear the big threat on Pasquale's side.
Yeah.
As well as dealing a damage. Yeah, Huang in the ground arena with the initiative. CoDameron just has 2 HP remaining.
So Pasquale could have sent the Sabine unit into the Poe, but then Sabine leader would have attacked his base. Now he can clear the Poe. Sabine leader will attack the base. It's interesting sequencing that he chose here. Let's see. There's still not a lot of damage on the base.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Still scary for the Sabine player.
With the initiative, you better believe Huang, the Jedi droid, quickly taking out CoDameron unit. Big threat off the table.
Construct another one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got like his internal memory core set aside to duplicate him, make another one. We're good.
Next action for Makai. And I believe that is Karis Nimic. I believe that's the prestige version of Karis Nimic. That's right. And we're going to see Bounty's Hunter Quarry coming out for Pasquale, being put onto the Sabine leader unit. Cassian smuggled out. Entering ready. Or being ready because he was smuggled.
Sabine may have passed there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Makai now going to attack with the Sabine leader unit. A total of 6 damage to base, 12 damage on Pasquale's base, but the ready Cassian Andor unit taking out Sabine Wren. Sabine back to the base zone, and now we are looking at a pretty clear board with the action back over to Makai. He's got Karis Nimic in the ground arena. 4 resources, but keep in mind that Anakin Skywalker can be deployed on this turn. And that Bounty Hunter's Quarry being resolved, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the protective Padawan, found and played for free on Pasquale's side. We do see K2SO coming out here for Makai.
I love seeing that Quarry. That's a fun card.
Absolutely.
So much value for 1 resource.
Yeah, in case you're not familiar, the Bounty Hunter's Quarry puts a bounty on a unit. When you defeat it, you search the top 5 cards, or if it's unique, you search the top 10 cards of your deck for a unit that costs 3 or less, and you play it for free.
So I think we just went to next turn.
We did.
Did not flip Anakin.
Pasquale holding on to the initiative. Yet to deploy the very real threat of that Anakin Skywalker leader.
Still a very healthy base, even with 12 on it. There's a lot to go.
21 more damage is what Makai needs to find And that's if Pasquale doesn't find a way to heal any more damage. Pasquale with the initiative going to attack with Obi-Wan Kenobi. 3 damage to Makai's base. The first damage that Pasquale has inflicted to the energy conversion lab.
What's the big play here for Pasquale? Does he have some high impacting, expensive play? Still got plenty of cards. And Sabine players starting to get to the point where they really are drawing 2 per turn. They don't need a resource anymore. They can just hammer away at that base.
Looking at Makai's hand, looks like he's holding on to a Green Squadron A-Wing for a cause I believe in, and a Fleet Lieutenant. No big threats here, but of course the Fleet Lieutenant could help push some damage. We're going to pay 3 resources. There is the Fleet Lieutenant, and it's going to be the K2SO attacking into Obi-Wan Kenobi with +2 power. The Obi-Wan Kenobi unit is defeated, and K2SO will remain on the board with 1 HP. Here comes Anakin Skywalker. Oh, and look at this. Anakin is going to be deployed. We are going to plot sudden ferocity out onto Anakin. Anakin is going to have a total of +5 power here. This is a 9 power leader unit with Overwhelm. Karis Nemec attacking, dealing 3 to Anakin. Getting defeated. We're disclosing a aggression and heroism aspect icon, a ready spy token, but we've got another play. Was that the General's Blade?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, +3/+3 to Anakin. That is a 12 power Anakin Skywalker, folks. He is massive, and he may very well have what it takes to win here in game 1.
You also got a +1 from that, which on the health puts him to 8.
Yeah.
So 5 remaining. A bit more work to clear him even.
Anakin Skywalker,
So
an absolute monster right now.
Yeah, without the +1, he had a single action clear using K2SO. Now it's 2 actions. He could send the spy, and then next turn he does it in 1 action, which is, yeah, that's where he wants to be.
Yeah,
he
the
needs
spy
to kill it.
putting another 2 damage on. Anakin has 5 damage on his base, or excuse me, on Anakin. But now we're going to see that big swing here. 12 damage going through to Makai's base, 16 damage on. And we're going to see Pasquale put his own Karis Nemec into the ground arena. Just 9 HP remaining on Makai's base. He'll have the initiative. He does have to answer Anakin here. And Anakin has a total of 10 HP with the General's Blade. He's got 5 HP remaining. Does Makai have a way to take it out in 1 action? He does. Wreckers coming down into the ground arena. Makai will defeat a resource to deal 5 damage to Anakin Skywalker, leader unit, cleaning up the big threat.
That is a big deal. He didn't have to lose any material.
Absolutely. Keeps his threats on the board. Karis Nemec on Pasquale's side, coming across for 3 to base. Makai with 19 damage on.
So can he put him in check? Still a lot. 13 + 7 is 20. There's still 14 left after that.
Yeah, still has to do so much work. 4 damage to base with K2SO. Oh, and Cassian smuggled into play. Will ready.
Yeah, that's big.
Another 3 damage. And just 1 resource open for Makai. Don't think he has a way to deal with this Cassian unless he had something like a heroic sacrifice to trade. Could give the Fleet Lieutenant +2 power and trade into Cassian, but I don't think he has that in his hand here.
Yeah, is that a 4 cause?
Yeah, I believe it's a 4 cause I believe in, and there was an OP promo card in his hand. Couldn't quite make out what that promo card was.
Oh, interesting. I thought he might have cleared the smaller unit and then claimed to clear Cassian back with Wrecker to stay alive, but
14, 17, 20 damage on Pasquale's base. Cassian getting in for another 3. It's 22 damage on Makai's base. Just 3 HP remaining. 1 attack from Pasquale. He's going to put a blue leader in play as well. 1 attack from any of these units wraps up the game. Makai scooping up those cards. And Pasquale from McClunky Gaming taking the win here in game 1 with Anakin Data Vault.
Nicely done. Getting him in check, still having 10 or so health on his base. Sabine just didn't, or McKay just didn't have enough actions in the tank to finish it off. He had the power on the board. I mean, that's how these games often end, right?
Right.
Like both sides could end the game. Who needs to do it in the fewest actions?
I tell you, I mentioned a little bit earlier today that Anakin Skywalker from Twilight of the Republic was one of my favorite leaders when he released, and I think I played him in Premiere more than any other leader until about the Legends of the Force set, and I haven't revisited Anakin since, so it's been several months, but sudden ferocity on Anakin. I mean, he just gets he's already huge,
and he's angry.
He's very angry. So sudden ferocity and plot with Anakin just seems so good because he has overwhelm. He has overwhelm, so that additional power, you can answer those big opposing threats, and you can still push big damage to your opponent's base.
Yeah, and going back to like who can be closest to ending the game in the fewest actions, Anakin hitting for 16. I mean that takes up 3 or 4 actions worth of attacking all at once. Right. So you set yourself up to then close the game out in just a couple swings. I think that's where a lot of the power of this leader is. And he has to survive to do it. But you play these high HP bases, not only does that help you survive, it gives you more room for Anakin to grow.
That's absolutely right.
Those two things just work so well together.
Definitely, because before Data Vault, right, the largest that Anakin could be through his own ability, or, well, before Data Vault and Colossus, right?
Colossus.
The other big one. Any base that has more than 30 HP, it was a max +5. So a max 9 power Anakin off of his own ability. But now, with Data Vault, Colossus, these bases that have more than 30 HP, you can get +6 on Anakin just off his ability if you had 30 damage on your base.
Right. And you might think, oh, that's just +1. It's not just +1. It's also the point in time when you're in check. You might have 1 extra action before you're in check to do 3 more damage to their base.
Yeah. Both players through the sideboarding process here, shuffling up, getting ready for game 2. Mackay, been a fantastic player for the Colorado Cantina crew. So many great runs and multiple planetary qualifiers. And then Pasquale, a planetary qualifier winner for McClunky Gaming. Been on a roll here lately as well. 2 fantastic players towards the top, looking to...
Oh, these cards are heavy played now. I can't sell them. So you've been, I just been popping in right now. It seems like this field is so diverse right now. Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. So yesterday, at the start of the event, and I went through and got the data, we had Piet Red as the most represented deck in the field of this Pool 1, and there was only 8. And there was 101 players. So when you have the most represented deck at only around 8%, that is great. That is great diversity. We saw so many decks at 3 of and 2 of and 1 of. Like, there was just so much diversity in the field of different leader-based combinations, and I think it's great. I think we've seen a very diverse meta here in the Open, but it'll be interesting to see what makes the top 8 and how that really sets the tone moving forward.
I don't know if these players knew how diverse it was going to be coming into it, but it makes me wonder about the sideboards as well. Like, do you build a way for your deck to do something different proactively, or do you bring in reactive tools for specific decks?
Right.
Yeah, so this is this is on stream? No. So we're looking at some data that I pulled where these were the most played decks, leaders from this first pool. I have Han Solo Audacious Smuggler.
Yes, most played leader. I was just looking at the very specific leader-based combination.
Oh, okay.
Han Solo Audacious Smuggler, the most represented leader, but I just counted specific base leader combinations, and Piet red was the most of that specific combination, because there was Han 1 yellow, there was Han 1 green, there was Han 1 blue force, right? Han 1 was paired with several different combinations, but yes, Han Solo Audacious Smuggler still a great leader and proving to be so good after this force throw meta. But looks like the players are getting ready for this game. Pasquale ready to go, got his 2 resources set. Makai.
When I was playing with data earlier, another interesting thing, Padme was 3rd on that list, but the representation shift of Padme was massively negative. Like, didn't seem like she was doing well. Have you seen her on stream much?
Mickey.
Oh, well, that's Mickey.
Right. Mickey is piloting very well with Padme. Here we go. Game 2 is underway. Makai with the initiative. Much better start here with Battlefield Marine on turn 1. And Pasquale playing Mina Bonteri. A great new 2-cost unit from Secrets of Power with Restore 1. You've got the Undefeated ability that you can disclose 2 command and 1 heroism aspect icons to draw a card. Makai with the initiative. Battlefield Marine, the classic 3/3 in the ground arena for Sabine. We're going to go into Mina Bonteri. Mina Bonteri, just 1 HP remaining. And now we're going to see, that is the Gungan Warrior. That is the first time I have seen this card played in Premier. The Gungan Warrior at 3/2, shielded. It's got Restore 1 as well. We do see Makai playing Sabine's Masterpiece. Look at that beautiful serialized Prestige. Sabine's Masterpiece in the air for Makai. Much better start for Makai.
Wonder if that's sideboard. Nice shielded unit to clear the ground.
Very interesting.
Restore.
Love to see the Gungan Warrior in Premier from Pasquale, and clearly doing well with it towards the top of the standings. Pasquale just claimed the initiative now.
Regular Gungan Warrior, right? Like, not. So he's probably intentionally throwing bombs at enemies, not tripping and falling into them.
That's right. Pasquale with the initiative. He's got a great response to Sabine's Masterpiece with the blue leader ambushing and trading. Both units defeated. Cleaning up the space arena.
Yeah, don't want to let it get that attack in. That's
and again,
nice.
Makai just really not wanting that restore from Mina Bonteri. Battlefield Marine trading with Mina Bonteri unit. Pasquale getting the disclose here, drawing a card.
Showing more Minas, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've got more, buddy. They're coming.
And I do believe that Pasquale has just passed here. He's got the Gungan Warrior ready. Of course, that Gungan Warrior can throw at least 3 damage, but could be more because of Anakin's ability onto Sabine. So you're really threatening to take out Sabine with 1 action if Sabine isn't buffed up.
I think he has the bounty in his hand.
Oh, he does. Look at this. That 1 open resource. Yeah. K2SO is played. Bounty Hunter's Quarry, the immediate response for Pasquale. That Rebel droid now has the bounty.
So now
Sabine is deployed.
If you send it into the droid, it'll just... Oh, no, you pump it and send it
into the droid. He can pump it.
Yeah, you pump it.
Now, so now it's a question, because Gungan Warrior can actually take out Sabine or the droid with the Anakin leader ability. You deal 2 to base. Yeah. Gungan Warrior attacks with +2 power into the Sabine leader unit. And the Gungan Warrior showing great value here, restoring as well. Awesome. Pasquale showing us why the Gungan Warrior should be respected in this Premier format. Makai able to claim the initiative. But Pasquale has to be satisfied with this start so far in this game, being able to neutralize most of what Makai wants to do. K2SO does take out the Gungan Warrior, 2 overwhelm damage to base. And now we're going to see Queen Amidala. Love this card. My favorite card. Well, I don't know. It's pretty tough between Queen Amidala and Jar Jar Binks. Those are my 2 favorite in the Secrets of Power set. We've seen both of them in this match. Queen Amidala, that 5/3, getting 2 spy tokens on the win plate ability.
Easy little spy token to clear that K2SO. We know Sabine wants to spend their resources, so Pasquale will probably very easily just be able to send a spy right into it and then continue from there.
We're going to see Energy Conversion Lab used here. CoDameron played from hand.
Oh,
and we are going to see one of those spy tokens ambushed and defeated. And the on-attack ability, Makai discarding for a cause I believe in to deal 2 damage to the other spy token. So
no spy
the
tokens
spies, yeah, no spying going on any longer for Pasquale.
Interesting. Can he get more spies on the board for Amidala? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if he's running any more spy token generation here outside of Queen Amidala. No, we've seen Karis Nemec. We're going to see a great play here with the initiative from Pasquale. Once again, that Anakin Skywalker action ability, 2 damage to his own base, but Queen Amidala attacking into CoDameron with +2 power. Both units defeated, cleaning up the big threats here. Makai does still have the Rebel Droid. K2SO getting in for 4. It's 9 damage on Pasquale's base. And now we're going to see Blue Leader for Pasquale. A total of 5 resources paid, +2/+2. Moves to the ground arena, ambushing and defeating K2SO. 1 HP remaining.
Players deciding how these triggers resolve.
Yeah, that's right.
K2SO versus looking at the top 10.
Yeah, because you do have a couple triggers here. And we are going to discard a card. So Makai having Pasquale discard a card from hand. So he discards Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now he gets to search the top 10 cards because K2SO was unique. Looking for a unit that costs 3 or less, and Pasquale will be able to play it for free.
He does still have 2 cards in hand. We're at a pretty high resource count. It's at a point where Pasquale might have plays without resourcing even in a turn or 2. So that discard, I don't know if it'll come into play. But putting damage on base, Anakin's about to deploy.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, which would have given Anakin another power. So Karis Nemec found off of that Bounty Hunter's quarry. It's Fighters for Freedom and a Karis Nemec for Makai. Pasquale not deploying Anakin. I think once again he wants to be able to plot here. He's setting up a bigger deploy with Anakin Skywalker. Pasquale has the initiative. It's going to be a quick trade here. Blue Leader and Fighters for Freedom both defeated.
I could be missing something, but I think Pasquale can feel pretty safe with ECL offline, choosing when to deploy Anakin, choosing to really pump him up and get a huge swing in. So
Karis Nemec getting into Pasquale's base for 3. Now we see Kelleran Beck. Kelleran Beck, a huge 7 power threat, finding red 5 in the top 7 cards of his deck. So this board just expanding for Pasquale. And he still has yet to deploy his leader. We're going to see another 5-cost CoDameron unit coming into the ground arena. But look at this, Anakin Skywalker ability used once again. Karis Nemec attacking in for 5 because of Anakin's ability. The Disclose here getting a ready spy token, which means that ready spy token could clean up the big CoDameron. That's exactly what's going to happen. I love this play from Pasquale, showing the true power level of Karis Nemec here with Anakin Skywalker. Now wait a minute, we're going back a little bit.
Pasquale plays very fast.
He does play fast here.
Fine.
I do believe Makai was showing the Sabine action ability.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he was pointing at there?
I don't know why we rewound all the way to ending the turn.
We rewound and we've just ended the turn, and I believe Pasquale just has the initiative here. So
yeah,
not 100% sure there. May have missed something, but nevertheless, we move on to the next action phase. Pasquale with the initiative. We're going, he's going to change it up here. Red 5 attacking into base with the on-attack ability, dealing 2 damage to the damaged CoDameron unit. CoDameron is defeated. Karis Nemec, another 3 damage to base, 19 damage on for Pasquale. But that just means a stronger Anakin.
Do 15 more damage.
It's
we
going
still
to be
haven't
tough.
deployed Anakin.
I know, we still haven't deployed Anakin. Kelleran Beck getting in for 7. 10 damage on Makai's base. Cassian is going to be smuggled into play. Will ready. It is another 3 damage presented in the ground arena for Makai. But right now, it's a spy token. Pasquale doing some more spying.
Well, Pasquale's saying, I'm fine. I'm about to win.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to your base.
11 damage on Makai's base. Both players 14 HP remaining. Makai with the next action. Cassian's going 3 to base. It's 22 on Pasquale's base now. Here comes Anakin. It's another power because he's over 20. It's +4. Sintakaz is plotted out at the same time. It is 8 power coming across. 20 damage on Makai's base, I do believe. And that is going to do it. Yeah. Makai has no response to that. Sinta plus sudden ferocity. We saw it both. Plot seems amazing for Anakin. What it takes to win. Pasquale did have what it takes to win. He takes it here over Makai. What a match.
It's just so much damage. I don't even know if he needed the Sintra there.
Yeah.
Couldn't clear the Anakin. Didn't have enough to threaten check. Great match, though. Showing us how to play Anakin into Sabine.
Fantastic match, yes. I mean, he had all the plays, right? He had the blue leader when he needed it, the blue leader to shut off the potential value that would be gained from Sabine's Masterpiece. I think that was really important because Sabine's Masterpiece can kind of get out of control for Sabine. Yeah. So you have that quick answer to the Masterpiece. That was really important. Of course, you go into the first game, and it was really a brutal start for Makai because it was turn 1 Jar Jar Binks, which is not what you want to see. And then it was turn 2, just blue leader into space. So game 1 felt like a really rough start for Makai, and it made it a lot easier for Pasquale to stabilize the board and turn the corner. Then in this game, there were better threats, but Pasquale just seemed to be able to make such good use of the action ability on the Anakin leader.
Sabine had their Battlefield Marine turn 1, but what did they use it for? To kill the 2/4 restore one.
Yeah, it wasn't used to put any pressure on.
So yeah, it wasn't applying pressure. It's not like that's their fault. That's just the position they were in. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just they weren't able to close it out.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. The board was clear the whole time. There was so much health on the Anakin base.
Yeah.
The Anakin flip just compressed so many actions every time.
Wow. What a game. Anakin Data Vault, we saw it a little bit last round. We saw it in a race there at the end of the match on the backup table, and Han 1 Green was able to take it down. But now we see Pasquale really showing us what Anakin Data Vault can do. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think, again, plot with any of these 6-cost leaders, it just really amplifies what they're able to do, especially with Sintakaz. And if you have a powerful leader like Anakin, just being able to deploy an attack in one action, and you can then threaten to just claim and attack again with Anakin, and you know he's huge. So there's just so much potential there. We saw the sudden ferocity coming out as well. Just a lot of explosive plays with these 6-cost leaders in plot. I love the mechanic, and I love what we're seeing so far from these players.
Yeah, the +2 damage, that came into play a lot.
Yes, Anakin's ability was huge.
The wreckers and pose were threatening, but he was still able to clear them out. Like pumping his Padme, or his Queen Amidala, pumping everything to get those clears.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to think how Sabine could have won that match.
Yeah, I mean,
in those positions, that was a really tough spot.
I think
from Makai.
You know, we've seen how good the Anakin action ability can be, and that is what was on display here because there was huge trades. You talked about it. Queen Amidala going into Poe. You've got Karis, which is able to trade up significantly with 5 power, and then you still get a ready spy token. So in theory, with Anakin's action ability and Karis Nimic, between Karis swinging in for 5, the spy token comes out ready. That's 7 possible damage. So you can take out units with 7 HP. I mean, that's crazy potential with Anakin.
Yeah, I really like the Bounty Hunter's Quarry as well.
Yes.
Like, he had 1 resource left on 1 turn and just slammed it right on a K2. It was very good.
Perfect, efficient use of the Bounter's Hunter, or the efficient use of the resource for Bounter's Hunter Quarry. And we've seen that card a lot recently, and it's showing up more and more in some different decks. We've seen it a lot in Han 2 ECL. Now we're seeing it, or in more aggressive decks. Now you're seeing it in this Anakin Data Vault deck, and it has a lot of potential, especially to go and get something like a Sentinel. You can go and get Obi-Wan Kenobi. You get a 3-cost Sentinel now in the ground arena that could completely just stifle what your opponent's trying to do. So a lot of great plays. It's been awesome. Such a great weekend so far. Keep in mind, we have some We could definitely do that. Yeah, I think we're going to have an interview here very shortly with our defending champion, Philip.
Despite starting on the Sabine matchup, all of our tables are cleared.
That's
so we don't have another match.
Yeah, do want to point that out for the viewers because we know you guys want all the action. You want to see a lot of gameplay, and we want to see a lot of gameplay. We want you to see the gameplay. There's 3 tables, so there's a feature match.
Funny.
There's 2 backup because we've had the team event going this weekend. But the Sabine match finishes, and the other 2 were done as well. So a lot of very quick matches in the feature area, so no backup match. But we're going to get Philip, and we're going to have an interview with our defending champion of the Boston Invitational event who's on a roll right now. I know that he won. He was 5-0. So we'll see if he took this round. Philip, here's Philip. Philip will join us here for an interview. How you doing, Philip?
Doing good, thank you.
You want to sit?
Have a sit. Have a seat right here. Yes, sir.
Oh,
sit
thank
down.
you.
So did you win this round?
No, I went
were able to
5-0,
ID.
and we made the math, and I had the best breakers of all the 5-0s, and we're gonna so we ID'd, and we're gonna ID again, and I'm gonna be in.
So you're locked. 5-0. Tremendous start with Han 1 Green.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about preparation for this event coming into a new meta with Secrets of Power and what that looked like for you and how you kind of ended up on Han 1 Green.
Yeah, so I mean, Han 1 Green is kind of my comfort pick. I really like it. I went to Bilbao. I really wanted to play Han 1 Green, but unfortunately, very fortunately for me, I did really well in the limited event, so I never got to play it. And coming in here, it was like Han 1 Green. It's okay, but what do I even expect? I don't really know. I feel comfortable with it. I didn't get to play it in Bilbao. Let's just log it in. If it flops completely, I'll play something else for Pool 2.
Right. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I mean, it's working out so far. And the lack of force throw seems to have allowed the window of opportunity again for Han 1, and it's been so good ever since. And I think it's a real powerhouse, and it probably will continue to be until we see rotation, right? People can enjoy Han Solo Audacious Smuggler for the next 4 months.
Yeah, I don't think the deck got that much from the new set, so I'm a little bit sad about that. But it all depends on what other people are playing. But definitely the fact that Force Throw is gone makes it playable again.
Yes.
Finally.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you are the defending champion of this Boston Invitational main event. You're started out 5-0. You're going to be locked in the top 8.
16.
You've got a chance. The top 16. Well, the top 8 for the pool, but then in the top 16 tomorrow. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
So you've got another chance to defend your title.
Yeah.
What a run, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So this type of event, non-official FFG event, community-run event, we're so thankful to Boston Network and CardsHQ, and you traveling all the way over from Europe to participate. We appreciate you coming over. What do you think about these types of community events, and what has the energy been like here for this specific event?
I mean, the energy is amazing. I'm mostly here because, like, I played in the US for the first, years of gameplay, and now I moved back to Europe. So all my friends are here. Like, if I go and play in Europe, nobody knows who I am. They're like, I'm just some random nobody. And if I go here, I mean, all my buddies are here. All my buddies are here to cheer for me. So I was just like, it's just money. Let's just fly there, hope for the best. I am the defending champion. Who doesn't want to try and make the repeat, right?
Absolutely. No, I mean, you've been great. Jonathan, you got any questions you want to ask?
I was wondering if you traveled here just to come to this event and hang out with everybody. That's crazy.
I traveled just to play and hang out with all my buddies. But, I might not have the opportunity to go to the US for a while, so this was like, you know what, I'm just going to log it in. Flew here on Thursday. I'm flying back Sunday evening, so just a short trip.
Short trip, but trying to make the most of this trip. Now, you competed in the team event as well, right?
Yes.
Where did you guys end up in the team event?
We flopped completely.
Oh.
We went 1-2, and then we dropped, and I went home and had a nap.
There you go. You were able to get home because, see, here you go. The team event took place yesterday. We had 6 rounds starting at 8 a.m. yesterday, and then there was a very short break, and then the first 4 rounds of this pool. So you guys dropping, you were able to get some rest. You say, I'm going to go home, or I'm going to go get some rest and try and defend my title, and so far it's working out.
Yeah, I mean, we played 2 really good teams, I think I think maybe both made the top 8. So we were just like, you know what, we'll just drop. It's okay. The team event wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
There's still another McClunky team who made the top cut, so I'm really happy for them. And then that means we can focus on the 1v1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you have to play the finals in round 1.
Yeah.
Based on the pairings.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. Philip, we appreciate you stopping by to talk to us for a few minutes. Again, good luck in trying to go back-to-back here at the Boston Invitational. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers?
Go McClunky.
McClunky. All right. Well, thank you again,
thank you for having
Philip.
me.
Appreciate it. We're going to cut to a short break, and then we're going to come back for the final round of Swiss here in the first pool at the Boston Invitational. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Bothan Invitational viewers. We are here for the last round of Swiss. I am Jeff Creasy from the Bothan Network, and I am honored to be here with the one and only John Tada from KTOD. How you doing,
Hello.
Tada?
Doing great. I just happened to walk in the building, and they're like, hey, let's do this. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, so it looked at going into the last round, going into the second to last round, it looked like it was going to be a clean break for top 8, where basically no one was going to be playing for anything. All the top 8 was going to draw, and it turns out there's an extra X1, so no one that is X1 can draw. So we know 4 of our top 8, and those are our XOs that we're able to double draw in, and then we have 4 tables all playing for a top 8 spot. So we went from potentially having nothing to play for to a lot of people having a lot to play for. So this is really exciting. What do you think about this last round, about the tension?
I've been following it on the Melee. I thought that there were going to be a lot of draws myself, but it's kind of great that there's not, right? So there's 11 places, I think, that are X1 or better. Of course, the top 4 can draw, which means there's 7 left. So in theory, those 7 will all play, and the winner of those 4 matches will make up the last 4 of the top 8. So that's really cool to see for this. Love it.
Yeah. And I talked to Josh about something that I wanted to get your thoughts on as well. So with this style of format where you have 2 different pools, and if you top 8 the first pool, you don't play the second one. So when you're in this win-and-in situation for top 8, does that add more tension because you want to skip 7 rounds, or does it add less tension because if you miss, you get a second chance at it? What are your thoughts on that kind of dynamic in a tournament?
I really like it. It kind of makes sure where if you want to play a whole bunch of SWU, you certainly can. There are some advantages, I think, to playing in the second pod because you can kind of see what decks are doing well in Pod A. We saw that there's already, 2 Han 1 green decks that are locked for top 8. There's a Han 2 blue deck. So if you're playing in Pod B, you can be like, well, I already know half of the top 8. Like, do I want to play something that can beat those decks, or do I want to play something that I've been testing? So that is, I don't want to say it's a huge advantage because you still have to battle through 7 rounds of Swiss to make top 8. Yeah. But it is something to think about when you pick your deck for these events.
It's kind of like playing the second weekend of PQs, right? Like you get a weekend's worth of data, except here it was just all compressed into 7 rounds, and you get to make a slightly more educated decision about your deck choice for Pool B.
Right.
So that's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
How excited are you to play in Pool B?
I'm excited. I'm playing Ray again to probably no one's surprise. Did very well with it yesterday in the team event, so we're just kind of running it back for the pool as well.
Yeah. Well, we're getting the camera set up. It's actually really interesting to me. So we're getting our graphics and everything put together for the 3v3 top 8. So there are 2 KTOD teams, 3 Bothan teams. All of the teams that have multiple teams in the top 8, all of their teams are on the same side of the bracket. Yeah. So we can't have an all Bothan final. We can't have an all KTOD final because everything's split up. So that everyone is going to have to team kill to get to the top. It's a really interesting bracket.
So I think all the viewers are probably hoping for a Bothan versus KTOD finals.
I know I am.
Yeah, just pick one from each side. Have them go at it just for the drama.
Yeah.
So.
I have a feeling McClunky may want a slightly different final, but
so McClunky got second in the last team event. It's a different team, but it's the same.
Same org, and that Grumpy Elephant team that's in the top 8. That's a really good team.
I gotta say, Grumpy is a heck of a player. That guy is always at the top of the standings, no matter what event he plays in.
Absolutely.
He's kind of a machine, and he always plays decks that make no sense to anyone but him.
Yeah, I played against him, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on. But we're going here.
Ray Data Vault. We have one here.
Yeah, we have. Thankfully, we have the expert in the booth, and we have Han 1 yellow, so Mono Han versus Ray Data Vault. The base, the Galactic bases always throw me off because I can't tell what color they are. But this one is the yellow one.
Yeah, I'm partial to my Ray showcase, but this one here I think is looking pretty good.
The face on this showcase doesn't look quite as handsome as the face on your showcase, I have to say. For anyone who hasn't seen it, Tada has a custom showcase with his own face on it. It looks incredible. It's so good.
I did not make it, so I'm not that vain. It was a gift.
It looks like a symbiote creation to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this matchup, I do want to say that this matchup is pretty favorable for Ray. Any Han matchup is usually pretty favorable, and I think that John is gonna have an uphill battle. It's because what's going to happen here is that these spies aren't going to do anything, right? Like John's going to draw a card, which is great, but these spies are just going to get eaten by.
I mean, eventually Moisture Farmer is going to kill him, right?
Exactly.
Next turn, Moisture Farmer can start killing him.
So he reveals. So it looks like John is a space-centric build.
Like space aggro Han
Yeah,
one. We saw a Cartel Turncoat there, which I
should
haven't
help,
seen
yeah.
in a lot of mono Hans before.
Yeah,
So that's
Turncoat
interesting.
might have been a better start, actually, but maybe
I mean, he
just
still
found
could play it.
He could, yep. Yeah, looks like
Yeah,
he
we
might
see
do,
the Han
actually.
action. And an interesting thing for me is a lot of the way that Mono Han used to beat these slower decks, especially with 6+ deploy leaders, was with DJ not letting them flip. So now that DJ's gone, obviously it's been a while since DJ got banned, but is that what kind of shifted this matchup a lot in your opinion?
Yeah, definitely. Not having DJ is pretty huge. But the main thing is that Ray has a lot of ways to minimize the cunning turns.
Yeah.
Because usually you either have so many units out or just so many actions to churn, and cunning isn't as effective. But John does have a good start. Like the spies aren't great, but the space is going to be a very good place for him this game.
Yeah, and if Ray wants to kill these spies, he's going to have to devote resource. Like he's going to have to put another resource in, and it looks like he's going to play a 3-drop here instead. So if he plays a 3-drop, he's not going to let his moisture farmer start taking out these spies, but maybe he thinks that he has enough time.
Looks like he's thinking about blue leader. I mean, I would think either blue leader or Akbar are probably the two best cards you can play here, and he has.
He does play the blue leader really good here. Lets him draw a card.
Yep.
Cartel Turncoat does have a downside.
Yep. So Falcon from John is going to counter this blue leader pretty well, but looks like he's just passing. Like he wants to restore, but he's got to be careful to not pass too much because John's just going to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting. John could have just claimed there actually and just.
I think it seems like John wanted to get an extra 2 damage on base, but obviously once the moisture farmer attacks again, it's going to negate that 2 damage. So do you think that maybe John could have just claimed there instead of attacking in with the spy?
Possibly, but maybe this seems fine.
Yeah.
He's still ahead on board. The moisture farmer not being 2 power, saves that spy.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how this turn goes. The 4 resource turn is really key for Ray.
Yeah.
Looks like he has Typho, which is pretty good.
Typho's been really impressive to me all event. Is that one of the newer cards that's been impressing you as well?
Yeah, it's huge. It's like probably the best new card for Ray. It just bridges that turn to the Ray flip turn so well.
Yeah. And we see here Ray able to take out, even without pumping the moisture farmer again, able to take out the spy because the way the past game worked out, he got 1 damage on the spy last turn. So a lot of it goes back to the decision from Ray to pass and from John to continue attacking, and that may have a decent impact on the way this game turns out.
Yeah.
But John also able to get some damage in space that Ray will eventually have to either deal with or try to get a little bit more restore, because we assume John is going to keep pumping this space arena. It seems like maybe his deck is just spy tokens and space arena, which against a lot of decks is not a bad place to be.
So this is really good for Ray. So John only has 3 resources to work with because of the Falcon tax. So Ray playing this Typho this turn is going to bridge very well into his 5 resource turn. John has really no pressure. Ray's at 3 with the moisture farmer in play. Like we're in a really good spot if we're Ray here.
Yeah, and it seems like these spies are not going to line up super well into the Typho.
Not at all.
So I would imagine John's going to make 2 more spies here, but can he utilize his last resource? If he uses Han ability, then he's using 2 cards from his hand to play a 2-drop.
Oh, wow. He actually can't.
Oh, he can't. Mono. So he must have all neutral cunning cards because you have to reveal 3 cunning and 2 heroism cards for Faith and your friends.
He only had 1 heroism card at the time, and then he just drew to spare the target just there.
Yeah, so really unfortunate for John. He was already kind of up against it a little bit, so he's got a lot of work to do to come back in this game 1.
Yeah.
I don't think you count Mono Han out that early, but obviously he's got a lot of makeup to do. He's got to deal with this Typho, and I mean also like we were saying, the spies wouldn't have done a ton anyway. So maybe if he draws the right set of cards, maybe a cunning or 2 helps get him back into this.
Looks like Ray picked up a Luke, so that's going to be really good here as well in a couple turns.
Yeah.
We just have to not fall too far behind this turn. So John can't play a 7 because he's paying the Falcon tax. So he can't do the 5, 6, 7 turn. Looks like he can go flip into like a possible 6-drop or even like a Cantina bouncer or something like that.
And a question I have for you about this Ray deck, a lot of times with leaders like Ray, you invest your resources into these units like Moisture Farmer.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of tension there with cards like the Cantina Bouncer and the Waylay, where you usually don't want to bounce really cheap units. But if Ray spent 2 turns and multiple resources investing in them, does it hurt you a little bit more when these cheap units get bounced, or does it still hurt more when you lose like your Typho and have to replay that?
Yeah, it's more the Typho. The cheap units aren't really a big deal because late game they're just resources anyway.
Yeah.
I am surprised to see earlier this turn that Ray just attacked Han base with Typho. You know, I think I might have just cleared the board up because that means that now, like this Spy plus Han could take out this Typho.
Yeah.
Which, you know, maybe not a huge deal, but it's not nothing. Like, I think it's better than just 4 damage to the base.
Yeah, it feels like the base damage doesn't matter as much for Ray. It's basically if he doesn't die long enough, he's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Steve. Yep, Steve, I'm playing here in about 1 hour. Right after this round's pod 2.
Yeah, all the KTOD guys made the mental break decision of playing the 3v3, taking off Pool A, and then planning to crush and dominate Pool B. So
we'll see. You know, to me, the main event's the team event. So
I agree. It's the only event I'm playing in, so it's obviously the main event.
Oh, resupply
from Ray. Interesting.
Great.
Yeah, so now we've got Ray flipping this turn, which John was probably not planning for.
So now, like, not killing the spy token is even a bigger deal for Ray. So I'm really surprised because, like, if he just kills the spy, then his Typho lives this turn.
Maybe he was expecting the cunning because we see the cunning buff and bounce anyway, and now this Han could take out the Ray. Or it could just get a lot of damage into base. Do you think you have to take out the Ray here if you're Han to prevent the restore?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely take out Ray here, but it's just a really, I think it was just kind of an awkward sequencing thing from Ray.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You know, we're fine. We're gone to 7 resources. We still don't have a ton of things in play that we have to worry about. Boshek is interesting.
Boshek drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Interesting later Boshek after the attack, but I think probably just wanting to make sure the attack actually gets in.
Yeah.
Boshek's only +1 attack. It's really more about drawing cards and refilling your hand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like John is comfortable playing Boshek in his deck. You know, we saw Faith, we saw Cunning, so he might not have too many more even cost cards.
Those are 2 pretty good ones, though.
Those are good ones.
And we know that Ray has a Luke in his hand. We've seen that before.
Yeah, he could. So he could potentially Luke right away, get this Han off the table, and then Luke's pretty safe from everything at that point because John can't play Big Han. He can't play anything to really threaten that Luke on a future turn.
Yeah, and if you want to waylay bounce a Luke, I think Ray is perfectly okay with that.
That's also pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Moisture Farmer can actually take out Han too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and I'm going to do another Ray pump.
So now we have a 7 threaten, though. Making this Moisture Farmer a 3/7 will also save it from Big Han, which is kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah. What other 7-drops does Mono Han play right now? Because obviously their big ones used to be Han and DJ. There's the options of the Enfys Nest. There are a few decent options out there. What are your favorites right now?
Probably Enfys Nest. Yeah, like as a Ray player, the Enfys Nest is the one that I want to see the least.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
It bounces everything you try to play, everything you can pump.
Yeah, other than your late game here. I'm kind of surprised to see Ray not trying to even attempt to kill this Han with the Moisture Farmer, but looks like he has another plan here.
Yeah, and it looks like a Lightmaker coming in from Han. This is a new unit from Secrets of Power that I've been really impressed with. Any kind of aggressive or space strategy, especially when you pair it with red, you can do something like Heroic Sack. You can sneak attack it out. I really like this Lightmaker unit. What are your thoughts on it?
I like it a lot, too. Yeah, I think it's quite good. It's a little underrated, I think, so I'm excited to see it in John's deck.
Yeah.
So Ray with an Akbar to end his turn, it's just, like, still, like, I feel like he should have tried to get rid of this Han.
Yeah.
But we're gone into the 7 resource turn for John and the 8 for Ray. So now we're in like home 1, Luke. We're 1 turn away from like Bo-Katan.
Yeah, it seems like this is the turn where Ray wants to slam the door shut, and John is still really far away here from
but,
from closing it out himself.
Being at 2 is pretty safe for Ray, but this Lightmaker does chunk for 7 a turn.
Yeah, 7 a hit, and then there's still going to potential for cunning buffs, surprise strike. So that this, I feel like this damage can add up pretty quick, especially when you get units like the Lightmaker going.
Yeah, John wisely attacking with Han first, just because he knows it's probably getting defeated by something.
Yeah,
looks like Ray has a entrenched in his hand. That's pretty big here. He also has a home one. He still has that Luke, Typho. I mean, his hand's pretty gassier. Like, it's gonna be hard for him to lose this game, I think.
What are your thoughts on because he has options here where he could entrench the Lightmaker or he could play his own home one. You probably don't want to do both at the same time.
Probably not. Looks like by defeating this Han, he's looking like he wants to go for the home one play.
Yeah.
He could. I don't think he has too many juicy targets to home one back. I mean, there's an Akbar where he can deal 1 damage to Lightmaker, just kind of whatever.
Maybe he just wants to get the restore going and say, I'm going to home 1, get back Akbar. Now Akbar's restore 2, Moisture Farmers restore 3, and just make sure that John can't deal enough damage.
He's also kind of churning actions here just to make John spend resources.
Yeah.
So now with John only having 5 resources left, I think it might be 6, either 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is going for the Luke to get rid of Lightmaker. Okay. And
another Lightmaker. Right. We've got the second one. It is a bright day.
So good sequencing there from Ray so that he can play that Luke, get rid of the Lightmaker, and not have his Moisture Farmer exhausted. Let's see what he does here.
And even without the home one, Ray still has Restore 5 on the ground now. So John has a good space presence, but he's got a lot more Restore to deal with. And also the damage is going to keep adding up pretty quick with 8 on the ground between this Luke and this Moisture Farmer.
Yeah.
Moisture Farmer is still able to be pumped one more time by Ray if Ray chooses.
So, okay, there's the entrench. Because, like, we can't home one yet because then the Lightmaker just, kills it right away, which you don't want to happen.
Yeah, and taps your ground arena. So you definitely can't first action home one there.
So the entrench is great.
Yeah, so it seems like Ray's plan is, I'm going to either make you deal with the entrenched, or I'm going to wait till I find another way to deal with this Lightmaker at a time that's more convenient for me, and then I'll play the home one.
Yeah, so home one is now a distant play, which is fine. Spare the target on Luke is interesting. I mean, I guess he's trying to save a little bit of damage here.
Ray does have 7 resources to replay it, but it won't get the full -6 this turn because no friendly unit has died. So I think John is just trying to delay and saying, even with the Lightmaker entrenched, I can get in some damage.
Yeah, so that's 6 damage from Falcon.
We'll have to see. I'm not sure if John is on anything like a Confiscate, if he has any way to deal with this entrenched.
I don't know. Probably not in mono yellow. At least main deck. So we're just playing Luke here. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, just getting the restore back on the board, getting the damage back. I mean, it's a 9 health swing when you're racing in different arenas, so it's pretty huge to even without the win played.
And John here, he has 2 resources, so like he just has to
claims
and try to find a way to deal with this Luke. He drew an event. I didn't see what it was. I definitely tell that
Cunning is still big here because you could pump the Falcon and then exhaust both the units, so you could save the 5 restore and get in 4 damage. So it's a 9 health swing to play a Cunning.
That a spare the target?
I think it is a Cunning.
It's a Cunning. That's very good. So
he could discard, but yeah, I think
he has to be careful buffing the Falcon in case Ray has like a fell or something, but doesn't look like he does. That's rough.
Yeah, and the Falcon's already hitting for 6 with the Han pilot buff, so now the Falcon will be hitting for 10 if it gets to connect.
We have a bright hope here. Like
to me, that Cunning is suggesting John is saying, I know I'm behind. I need you to not have an answer for this, and this is my way to actually win this game, to try to sneak in and take this game.
This could be a big tech turn if he has anything good down here, because taking. What is this, 4, 7, taking 10 damage?
Yeah, right now the Falcon's attacking for 10. So and there's still enough resources up for a surprise strike or something like that to make it even more. We'll have to see what John does.
Going to 24 isn't our favorite here.
So we've seen 2 Cunnings, but at this point that means that 3rd Cunning would be lethal with 10 more damage and tapping the restore again.
Could bounce his own. I don't think anything can bounce his own Lightmaker. Someone commented in chat because Cunning can't bounce his own Lightmaker, and
we saw spare the target, which
spare
unlike Waylay, Oh, confiscating the Huns. We see confiscate in from Ray.
Interesting. Okay, that saves some damage.
And it's possible John could be on Waylay and Spare the Target. I've seen some players that are playing
Both.
playing a split of both, because obviously they want the heroism aspect for Faith in Your Friends.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of cases like this where you need to bounce your own unit. Goodness gracious.
That is a lot of Lukes that aren't going to do anything.
That is a hand of cards. And this is where I really like John's decision of just getting in the 10 damage, because now that he sees those Lukes, he says, there is no way I'm winning if this game goes another 2-3 turns. If you get to play all the cards in your hand.
Draws another Entrench. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's... I mean, he's going to go to, 11 resources with a tech in play and the initiative, so...
Yeah. There's a lot of options for Ray here. I wouldn't be surprised if this turn may take a while, because he has so many choices to think through and try to find the right options. He may also just know exactly what he wants to do and slam it down, but let's see where Ray goes with...
We've got nine health left, basically an effective 14 health after the restore. So
6 cards in hand and 11 resources, all available from tech. So a lot of options for Ray here. You'd have to imagine that this is the kind of situation where the reason I stopped playing tech decks is because I said... The cards are here to let me win. I just got to find them, and I was really bad at finding them, finding the right ones.
It's going for the Entrenched. Okay. This does give John, so I think attacking with Luke first was probably best there, because it's saving 3 damage either way.
Yeah.
And that just guarantees the 6 damage onto John's base to really threaten lethal.
That makes a lot of sense, because you know that these decks could be running something like a Bamboozle. We've seen 2 Cunnings. Obviously, he's running 3. You don't expect them to draw 3 necessarily. And there is the Bamboozle, so we're not getting in the 9 health swing from Luke this turn.
So I'm curious if that'll come back to bite Ray, but why is this Bodhi?
What happened to Bodhi there? I think, I think maybe John thought for a second that he was discarding the Bodhi to Bamboozle. I was like, wait, no, that's still in play.
Yeah, and I don't think we're targeting Bodhi with our Bamboozle. So
yeah.
Okay, so now we're probably going to tech something.
We see a Typho in there. There's some good options in there for sure for Ray.
Yeah. This is not Ray Tan. No, someone asked in chat. This is a different Ray. Not sure where this gentleman is from, but we're going to go with the village people here from the resource row.
Yeah. But it's exciting to have a player named Ray playing Ray, because I don't have to differentiate if I'm speaking about the leader or the player. It's all the same.
So this A-Wing tack is just going to get erased by this Moisture Farmer, in theory. You know, Ray hasn't been keen on attacking with his restore unit, so I don't know what he's going to do with this guy yet.
He could also still pump the Moisture Farmer again. Looks like that is what he's going to do. So now the Moisture Farmer is threatening the Bodhi Rook or threatening 3 damage to base.
It's kind of interesting. He didn't just pump the Village Protectors, but maybe he doesn't care about this Bodhi.
Yeah, I think at this point it seems like he's saying, I have a Sentinel, that's good enough. I'm going to restore and hit you for 3.
So 18 next turn. So, like, if we had attacked with this Luke first, we'd be having John in check right now.
Yeah.
Because he'd be at 24. He wouldn't be able to play this Ebon Hawk. It would just be...
Yeah, he would be one attack away from Luke from lethal. So, yeah, that's a good point. Ray's definitely been playing this game like a little bit passively.
A little too safe, yeah. Little too safe. I mean, you have to know with Ray when to really turn the corner.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was like a couple turns ago. And now he's playing board control probably a little too much.
He did have my favorite play in his hand, which would be terrible this game, but it's still my favorite play in SWU, which is you have a resupply in your row and a tech out. So you pay 5 and just resupply from the row.
Yeah.
I would have been fairly upset if we'd seen that now, because it would not be the way to win this game, but...
I thought he drew a Unity of Purpose, and I was going to get really excited, but it looks like it is a U-Wing reinforcement.
And it looks like this is Ray's first time on stream for the weekend, so it's always nice to see some new players on stream. We see a lot of the same old guard because we see a lot of the same tables. There is the 3rd Cunning, so that's all 3 Cunnings for John this game.
Getting rid of the Restore, and he's probably going to pump this Ebon Hawk, because now that's going to be able to attack for 9?
This Luke has not attacked this game. He played the Luke on 7 resources, and we're at 12, and I'm fairly certain this Luke has never attacked. It got bounced once and tapped 3 times.
So we're at 23. We have 10 life left. We have the Akbar, so basically 11 life left. But we're attacking for 4, 5, so 2, 4, 6. We actually have 11 attack in play with this Ebon Hawk and the A-Wing.
Yeah, and the Cunning pumping the A-Wings are diversifying the threats a little bit. So now the A-Wing is attacking for 6, and the Ebon Hawk could still attack for 5, assuming there's a heroism card to reveal on attack.
I don't know if Ray has an answer for this.
Did John claw this game back here? I mean, Ray has so many cards available to him. He's already seen 2 entrenched, so it's unlikely that he's seen the 3rd.
So we have to do 10 before.
He's luking his other luke, so
that'll save us.
So the way this works for the folks at home is you play the second luke, it dies, but its trigger still happens, and when the trigger resolves, Luke has died, so Luke has seen a friendly unit die, and therefore you get the full -6/-6.
Yeah, very smart heads up play there from John, or from Ray rather.
Mm-hmm.
Which ship did he get rid of? Oh,
he got rid of the Ebon Hawk. So the A-Wing still hit for 6, but that was a temporary buff, so he didn't want the Ebon Hawk to be able to go 5 into 5.
So we're going to restore the 1 here, but like we're still lethaled by a 10,
surprise
25,
strike, right?
28.
So we're 5 away.
Left.
Yeah, so a surprise strike on this A-Wing is going to be lethal for John.
Okay, so Ray's got to be thrilled here. It's like, all right. Our opponent's tapped out. He didn't claim. Now we can attack with this Luke. Just don't do this, man. Stop playing cards.
We see an XP on the Village Protector.
Now John's just going to like snap claim. He's like thrilled to have initiative here.
Ray is not listening to Tada's advice.
It's like, stop playing cards. Like, I mean, killing tech is great here. That's fine. But, I mean, what's Bright Hope going to do?
Well, he does have Sentinels in both arenas. So
yeah,
now
but the guy has doubled entrenched units. Like, this Bright Hope is just going to get destroyed by anything. I mean, I guess it buys an action. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting line from Ray. I definitely see the thought behind it of saying, I'm just going to get Sentinels in both arenas and have a big presence.
Right.
And getting the extra action means that you either tap the Luke or on the first action, or you have to deal with this Bright Hope on the first action.
Doesn't look like John drew Cunning number 4, so I think I think Ray can finally attack with this Luke. Yeah. Okay. So we're finally getting a Luke attack. So this should, in theory, be game over. Like, this Luke attacks and the game is just over. Like, there's nothing John can do.
Yeah, it seems like Ray is going to be able to get it from here. I think John was trying to find a surprise strike, but the Bright Hope slammed the door on that 1 action lethal option.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to check his resource. Are we going to just turn Luke sideways? Thank you. All right, there we finally get a Luke attack.
That is the first Luke attack of the game. We have a world first here.
Now we're good. Now this light maker is going to take out this Bright Hope. I mean, John's like, yeah, this is over. Like, okay. So game 1 goes
long
to
and
Ray.
grindy game 1. Do you think that? Do you think John may have some upgrade hate in his sideboard? Because I think we saw those entrenched do some really good work where John's trying to race in space and Ray's just not letting him.
Yeah, so John's playing looks like more of an odd build of Han 1 Yellow, with the Bosheks.
Yeah.
So I have to assume he probably has Confiscates.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he brings them in. They're pretty good against Ray because of the entrenches.
Yeah.
They in a pinch, they could also get rid of the XP tokens or like a shield from Village Protectors. So
we're seeing some direct hits in Ray's sideboard, which is really interesting. So that's a 4-cost event that lets you just destroy any non-leader vehicle unit.
Yeah.
So
this looks like he has a pretty standard sideboard of all the Space Hate.
Yeah.
In various packages. He has the Rex's sideboard instead of main deck. Like my build, I opt for a main. He has them in the side. But I mean, otherwise the builds are.
Yeah, Rex is another new unit that has just really blown me away. Like I saw it and thought it was good, and then every time I play it or play against it, I'm just reminded of how good it's been. Is that another one that you're a big fan of?
Yeah, I love Rex. It's really hard to evaluate cards right now, because you have to get it out of your head that we're not in like a 2 or 3 set meta, anymore. So previously, cards like Rex maybe weren't as good because yellow was everywhere.
Yeah.
And cards like Waylay, Spare the Target, etc., like just bounces them and it does nothing. But those cards are seeing less play because yellow overall is seeing less play. So, things like Rex are just very, very good now because there's not a lot of cards that get rid of him.
Yeah.
6 cost 7/7 is very above rate. He's Sentinel. He can also do some tricks where if your opponent already has a Sentinel, you can give something else Sentinel, so you can still attack it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you could do something like, your Han 2 leader is no longer hiding behind a turret. Your Han 2 leader is now exposed to be hit. Yeah, that's a really good point.
That happens more than you think. And you can give like a random space unit Sentinel. That doesn't matter for no downside. So it's a very good card. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's bringing in Hyperspace Disaster. I have to assume he has at least 1 main already. Eager Escort Fighter looks like it's coming in. Confiscate. So he's going to have a lot of hate for the space stuff.
Yeah. So do you think it gets worse for John after game 1?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's not a lot, mono yellow can side in to really mess with Ray. I mean, John, game 1, he had everything. He had 2 Spare the Targets. He played Faith 3 times. He played 3 Cunnings. Like, it still didn't matter. I mean, that game was much closer than it should have been. But still, like, Ray had everything. Like, there's just not a lot of answers from John for the Lukes, for the home ones, the U-Wings.
We see some Sanctioner shuttles coming in from John, so it may be his plan may be to try to pump in more damage early. We saw him really not get off to that fast of a start.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm looking for from John in this game too is to try to get Ray on the back foot a little bit more instead of letting Ray kind of dictate the pace.
Yeah, you don't want to start Faith with your friends against Ray.
Yeah.
You ideally want to play like a Falcon or something turn 1. If I were in Ray's shoes here, my like ideal opening hand would have something like an R2D2 or perhaps like a blue leader for turn 2 to get rid of like an A-Wing or something. Maybe cards like Akbar I want to prioritize a little less.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's pretty clear that John is a space build. So you just want to make sure that you have an early answer for like a turn 1 Ebon Hawk or something.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, from the Ray's side of things, from the Ray Datavolt side of things, another really big deck that we've been seeing this weekend is Han 1 Green. So now the big differences between Mono Han and Han 1 Green are obviously the Mono Han gets cards like Cunning and Bodhi Rook, and Han 1 Green gets cards like Chewbacca Pilot and Resupply.
Yep.
So from the Ray side of things, are you more scared of the Chewbacca or are you more scared of the Cunning?
Chewbacca is definitely more scary. I mean, that's mainly why Ray plays cards like Entrenched. It's mainly for the Chewbacca decks. I don't think that it matters that much. I think Ray's favored into any version of Han. But if I had my choice, I'd be playing against Han Yellow.
Gotcha.
It's like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and just for the folks at home, these records, Ray is currently 4-1-1, and John is 5-1-0. That should still mean that either way, whoever wins is in top 16.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, John for sure. Ray is still.
So some tables may have drawn the last round.
Yeah, it depends on draws.
When it was not necessarily optimal for all of them getting into top cut. So but that is their prerogative.
In theory, so table 1 and 2 drew. Of course, because they were 5.
They were the XO ones.
So in theory, that means that table 3, 4, 5, and 6 would have all been playing their win and ends for top 8.
From 3, 4, 5, and 6, the tables that draw risk one or both of those drawers not making top cut.
Yep.
So they can do that if they choose, but it may risk them not getting
wise.
in top cut.
Yeah. Someone said that table 4, I think, were a teammate. So they may have drawn. I'm not sure. I would advise against it, but
all the teammates were discussing it before pairing them. And that's why they show the standings before the last round, so people can try to decide what they want to do and make the decision.
So if anyone would like to know more about draws and when you can draw and when you shouldn't draw, I made a video actually with Bobby Sapphire.
I really like that video
on this very subject. So just a few weeks ago.
Because especially players who SWU is their first trading card game, players like you and Bobby Sapphire who are more TCG veterans, this is a thing that comes up a lot in all the other competitive card games. So players that come to this game from other card games are really used to the tiebreaker math and the draw brackets and all that. So for anyone whose SWU is your first TCG and you're just learning and figuring out this ID stuff, I highly recommend that video. It really goes into the details of when you should and shouldn't draw, and it's a really, really good video.
Yeah. So there's the turn 1 Ebon Hawk, like I mentioned. Now,
yeah,
if I'm Ray, I really want blue leader here. It looks like he has Eager Escort, which is just as good. I mean, it does the same thing. So I'm probably going to want to Eager Escort here to just get rid of this right away.
Yeah, Ebon Hawk can attack for more, but only having the 3 health, especially against a deck that you know is on 3 blue leaders as well as potentially Eager Escorts out of the sideboard, it makes it a little bit riskier. But it's still a good turn 1 play that you say, Ray, you have to have an answer for this, because Ebon Hawk can definitely run away with the game really quickly if Ray doesn't have the answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 at a time, and if he pilots this thing, like...
Oh, yeah.
So, John, he has to be careful, because he doesn't want to pilot with Boshek. Okay.
Pilots with Han.
Well, I guess Boshek would still do +2.
+2 health from Boshek. So now it survives everything.
Now it survives everything, yep. So it's really curious that Ray put the XP on that pot, the advisor.
Instead of getting instead of getting initiative.
Dealing 4. That is not the turn.
Well, he may have a confiscate in hand, so maybe his thought is to confiscate the Ebon Hawk, but he also attacked for 2 to lose initiative to John again.
Yeah, but like if you're playing as confiscated, like I would probably rather just go ahead and play the confiscate and then maybe play like a 2-drop, but maybe he just doesn't have the hand for it.
He also could have been he could have been worried about a second pilot.
Yep.
So that this plays around the possibility of John having a second pilot in hand.
That it does. A lot of nuances here. So he's just playing around as much as possible. He's just going to show that same spark again. So we've taken 14 damage.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I would say this Ebon Hawk did its job. Ray is... John has to rebuild now, but Ray is on the back foot a little bit more. His damage on base is a little more worrying.
It's like he has resupply. That's really good. Let's see.
Gotta let him flip next turn if that's the rest of his turn.
He also could play Village Protectors this turn. Oh man, never mind. Now we're just taking the resupply here. So
yeah, he throws the resupply down first and says, "Yeah." I know where we're going with this.
So John is just going to snap take this resupply.
He takes the Bright Hope.
Takes the Bright Hope. Interesting.
He looks like he's thinking about it.
With all the cunnings in his deck, I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
With all the bounce effects that he's taken this Bright Hope. So now Ray is just going to snap this resupply right off.
And now Ray gets to deploy Ray next turn.
I mean, I guess if John has like double A-Wing or something here, like taking Bright Hope makes sense.
Or maybe now this time Ray claims without attacking. So it seems like he wants to be able to either flip first action or potentially deal with this A-Wing.
He has Hyperspace Disaster in his hand too, which is pretty
going to be very helpful. It's helpful for Ray that he was able to ramp into this Hyperspace Disaster.
So Ray here wants to just flip first action, right?
That's my thought.
You want to force this cunning right away, so then you can play this Village Protectors.
He goes with the XP first.
The XP. Okay.
And there is both a Cunning and Stolen AT Hauler in hand for John. He can play one, but not both this turn. Yeah. I would imagine he's not going to Han activate to flip because you probably want to keep both of those cards in your hand. They're both really important cards.
Yeah. Let's see. See how Ray wants to play the rest of this turn. I think I may have just deployed Ray first action, but putting this XP is also very good because it puts the onus on John, right? He has to act. Mm-hmm. He can't just pass. He can't just really use Han here.
And if you attack for 2, I think Ray says, okay, now I know there's not a pilot coming. I know there's not a cunning buff onto that ship, so I can play a little bit differently accordingly.
Yeah. So there's that. So now we're going to get the cunning. Mm-hmm. We're not worried about the +4 buff, but we are worried about random discard here.
Yeah. And we see the Han action, so I think we may see a cunning buff then, potentially. It could be a buff and a bounce the Sentinel.
Big Falcon.
Oh, Big Falcon. Okay.
Man, this Hyperspace Disaster is just going to be
a disaster.
A disaster, indeed. He just claims. He's like, you know what? I'm just...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, so John didn't realize that there was a Sentinel in the way.
I mean, it has a token on it, so it's not like it was a surprise.
Yeah, I wonder if that would have changed John's play, because he had access to the cunning.
Yeah.
So he potentially could have bounced the Sentinel.
Yeah. We draw R2 and a foil. I can't tell what the foil is.
I think it's Village Protectors.
Okay.
Or maybe it's a...
Might be a sponsor, change role on sponsor. I think I have learned my own card names this week, so
I'm proud.
Yeah,
that's a big step. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm still bad at my own card names.
I think it's Chandril and sponsor. I know it's sponsor. I don't know what the first word is, but that sounds right to me. So there's the hyperspace disaster. Like John can't be thrilled about that because his hand is like Han Pilot and Cunning at this point, I think.
Well, he might. I think he had to put the Cunning down with the Han action.
No, it's still in the same.
Oh, it's still in the same. Okay,
Yeah,
so he put down the stolen AT hauler and then played the Falcon from resources. So he still has the Cunning.
Yeah.
But now it's more awkward because, well, there's not a Sentinel right now, so he could tap buff. He's got some options. What do you think he should do with his Cunning here?
I think that I would exhaust both these units and pump my Han because then we can get rid of Ray.
Yeah.
Looks like he's
bouncing the Sentinel and is he discarding or is he pumping?
Probably +4. I mean, bouncing is like the same thing. It's just you take 3 damage.
Okay, yeah. He's the other Cunnings he put it under the card, so I didn't know if that meant he chose a different mode. But so he did pump.
This This makes sense because now it keeps Han from getting just defeated by the now 3 power.
Ray's got to rebuild the Sentinel. So he basically gave up and said, all right, I'll give you the restore from Ray this turn, but I'm not going to give you an easy kill into my leader. I like that play from John. Yeah, I like it. But it's just one of those situations now where John is just completely sick if Ray has like Luke, if he has U-Wing. Just anything from the Ray player here is going to be devastating. We do have another Cunning in hand for John. Of course, yeah. There's like a tech in the row. Master here. If there's one thing I know about Mono Han players, they always have Cunning. Yeah, but like you can kind of see that like Cunning against Ray isn't that crippling. Right? Yeah, it's like. I mean, here you're gonna bounce the Village Protectors. He just replays it. You can't buff your Han. So yeah, he's gonna just ambush it with Han. That's interesting because now if Ray buffs, then the Village Protectors is threatening to kill the Han leader on attack back. So what you do here is you buff and then you play this Typho from your hand after this Han attack. Yeah. So now Ray's just going to play this Typho. And we're going to feel pretty good about where we are. Yeah, it's pumping in more and more Ground Sentinels here. And John, after the hyperspace disaster, unable to rebuild in space like I would imagine he might want to. It's like he's thinking about the advisor, but no, just play the Typho. Tada would advise you to play Typho. Makes the most sense here. So Rival's Fall, I think, is really it's just nice insurance for Ray. I mean, we saw last game Ebonhawk almost trying to close the deal. We saw it on turn 1 here. There are some big units, and it feels like just a sense of security for Ray here that he says, okay, whatever you end up doing in space, I have this as a backup. Yeah. So Ray thinking about resources, I think he resourced the advisor here, which makes sense. And then now this is probably the home 1 turn because the board's pretty empty. We can home 1 to get back the Village Protectors, and that's probably going to be it at that point because Mono Yellow Cunning basically has no answer at all for a home 1. Yeah. This deck is built to be far ahead by then. To make it not matter. And we saw John get out to a better start this game with the Ebonhawk, 14 damage on base plus the Han pilot, but Ray really showed kind of the resilience to fight against that, I think, and still come back from a better start by John. So I don't love this play by Ray. I mean, it's fine. It's not a bad play, but this tech from John is not scary at all. Yeah, like it actually is irrelevant what John plays from his resource row once we have home 1 out, right? Like he can't do anything. So he can waylay it, and you say thank you. Yeah. So I think that he tried way too hard. Like he took his entire turn to get rid of this tech. Where I think if you just build your board, this tech is not going to do anything. Like John has 8 resources. Like what could he possibly play? Yeah. And still, like you see here, he's trying really hard to get rid of this tech. And I think that's just the stigma that tech creates now. Yeah. Is that like people are terrified of it, and there are decks that you need to be scared of it. Like Ray, you don't want him to have tech. Like that card is kill on sight. And I think even the decks like Han 1 Green, you don't want them to have tech with the caveat of once they're at about 9 resources because people still remember the tech DJ meta. But once DJ got banned, early game tech or low resource count tech became a lot less scary, and all of a sudden, you have 6 resources up, that's fine, you can have tech. Like, are you going to waylay for 5? Okay. So Ray just developed or spent
2 cards and 9 resources to kill 1.5 techs.
Yeah.
Like that. Like he didn't advance his board. Like he's
Whereas
not.
he could have instead home one and said, you get an action or a turn with tech, play whatever you want. I have home one out. Everything has restore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Link to the draw video with Bobby Sapphire. So on YouTube, just search the KTOD channel, and then sort by like release date. It was like 2-3 weeks ago. You'll find it. Let's see. So we got Mina. Like, maybe I misread his hand. I swear he had home one.
I don't see there's not a home one now. There's no way you'd resource
certainly
a home
you
one.
wouldn't resource it. Yeah.
That makes the Rivals Fall play make a lot more
Check
sense if he didn't have anything else to do with his resources.
Like he's checking his resources. Let's see.
I don't think I saw a home one, but I couldn't really see everything.
I didn't see a tech either. So let's see what he does here.
I know before he's just attacked base with his Sentinel and said you have to attack into me. I'm curious if he does that again. He has a little bit of a damage lead, but obviously that's not exactly what this Ray deck is trying to do.
No, yeah, looks like he's probably gone. Man, so he's just getting rid of the tech. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what you have to do here.
More Falcons. So now we've got double Falcons. John is finally rebuilding in space after the hyperspace disaster.
Yeah.
Now that we've read that Ray doesn't have a home one like we thought he did. Oh, there is a tech.
Yeah. Okay, so he does have a tech.
Okay, the tech probably helps him out a lot here, right? With so many resources available.
For sure. Yeah. So must have misread his hand earlier. Swear it's all tech or a home one, but it clearly. That is not the case.
Akbar looks oddly like home one to me when you're looking at it on a video screen, so it could have been the Akbar.
Let's see what he has here. He's looking at his resources. He has an Akbar, a sponsor.
Yeah, link to the draw video from KTOD is in the chat now for anyone that wants to check it out.
Yep. Let's see what Ray opts to do here. Buff the Akbar.
Buffing the Akbar. It still can't kill this Han unit that has 3 HP left. But obviously, if Han attacks, it has to go into the Typho anyway. So
yeah, that's what he's opting to do. Showing Mina to heal 1. Which might be playing Mina this turn as well. Let's see what he does.
He's got a couple of resources up. I think it looks like he's got another Akbar in hand as well.
Yeah.
So you definitely play the Mina over that.
So I wonder if he has a hyperspace. He has either
it's like a Rivals Fall, maybe,
Rivals
or
Fall,
Vanquish,
or Fell, or Direct Hit. Some blue
removal spell there, but he might not have enough resources up to play it at this turn.
He's got. It's like he might just play R2 here.
I don't hate R2 because
I love R2.
Yeah,
it's like one of the best cards in this deck. Like it's so like harmless on the surface, but like being able to filter with Ray is crazy. They're just making sure all the resources are correct. So
yeah,
because I
think he was signifying that he played it from resources, not from his hand.
Right.
And so they're double checking the resource count.
Yeah.
And
so 4 for that, 3 for that.
Yeah. And then I think he still has to do the R2 trigger.
Right. Yeah, and tech.
Yeah, because I think John thought he was doing the R2 trigger, but he was doing the resource replacement, and that seemed to.
Yeah.
So I think they're just double checking and making sure everything's right here.
Yeah, we have 9 resources, so like we just want to make sure that like.
It looked clean to me, but I miss those kinds of things all the time. So.
Did he replace?
He replaced. Okay. Yeah, the replacement was what John made
Gotcha.
what made John first pause because I think he didn't realize it was from resources.
We're good here.
So yeah, it looks like everything happened quickly. Another Mina getting resourced at a blue leader.
Yeah. So now our hand is Akbar, blue leader. This is like, because we misread his hand. Like this is not.
Yeah, the home one would have been game over, but it turns out he didn't have a home one.
No Luke, no home one.
Yeah.
No U-Wing. This is like.
What I always say when this happens is he's kind of getting data vaulted. He's got 3 extra HP, but sometimes you just don't draw the good cards that you need.
Yeah, data vault math isn't real. It can't really hurt.
Sanctioner Shuttle. So we saw this come in from the sideboard for John, and my first thought was it's not going to get a lot of value late game, but we see here it basically takes 12 cards out of Ray's hand. So that is a very good Sanctioner Shuttle.
Yeah, maybe even 13 cards.
Yeah.
So we're going to blue leader this right away, though.
Yeah,
so
Ray has the answer, but still, like we saw the potential power because we know he's got 2 more Sanctioner Shuttles. So yeah, the answer for something like a tech that's just providing Ray so much value.
So that blue leader is basically like, kill your shuttle, draw 13 cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a card I'd put in my deck.
Yeah.
Ray tapping his blue leader the correct way. Thank you.
Yeah, it always tilts me so much when people like exhaust their cards the wrong ways.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, stop. What we got? So our hand is Akbar.
Yes, the hand is Akbar, but there's still a lot of resources available. There's some blue removal spell.
So there's at least an
Vanquish.
Entrenched.
Entrenched in there too, yeah.
He has a Typho there too. It looked like. It's like, I don't hate playing Typho here either.
Looks like we're going for the blue removal spell potentially to kill the Pilot Falcon.
Okay, so
Rival's
it was
Fall,
a Rival's Fall, yeah.
I like that because that's the one that could still get a Han Pilot and deal you damage this turn. So and also the only downside is that the other Falcon is much better against Entrenched because you can just bounce it and replay it the next turn.
Yeah.
So he sees the one card in hand, doesn't get to see the other 13 in hand though, from the resource row.
So he's got Restore 2 here. Looks like he's going to try to get rid of this Bodhi because we don't have a Sentinel, which makes sense.
Yeah.
R2 is going to
R2
filter
getting another trigger.
Is it a U-wing or a Luke?
Immediately to the bottom. Yeah. No U-wing, no Luke, no home one, to the bottom.
Yeah. Like at this point in the game, it's like, does it cost 7 or more? No, put it on the bottom. So direct hit's very good here, and then another blue removal card.
Like a lot of space units are not long for this world on John's side with whichever blue removal spells Ray just drew.
Yeah, Ray making a hand motion there. He's got to be thinking the same thing we are. It's like, where is my end game?
Yeah, exactly. I have so many of these cards in here.
Like I'm replacing cards with tech. I'm drawing 2 a turn.
And he didn't see him early either because if he had resourced him, he would be able to play them with tech right now.
Ooh,
there's the confiscate.
Yeah.
So importantly, though, Ray sees that the answer for Entrenched is right there.
Exactly, yeah. Getting data vaulted.
I think that's going to catch on. I say that all the time. I love saying that.
Having the direct hit. But the thing is like, with the Ray deck, is it's so resilient, right? It's like, he's not drawing anything but random idiots. And, like, he's still just, like,
he's still fine.
He's still restoring 2 a turn.
Yeah,
he's still attacking for like 5. Like,
he's not under pressure from multiple Falcons and from Sanctioner Shuttle and all that. He still is. He still has way more time to draw all of his late game that he's eventually going to get to.
Random unit
right
deck is this deck sometimes. So attack for 2, restore 1. He's covering his leader with his hand. I hope he doesn't forget that she has an ability. Okay. Well,
I think it's
now we don't have a hand. So.
Yeah, I think it's his way of using a hand hider so that he doesn't mix it up with his resources. So it's a nice way to make sure that you don't fumble everything because that can make for some super awkward judge calls where I had one card in hand. It was definitely this one.
Yeah, I tend to not want to cover my leader with that just because sometimes out of sight, out of mind, right? You might forget it's there.
I always use a second token
like
it's basically a second initiative token and just make sure that if I ever put my hand down, I put that on top of it because I don't want to accidentally mistake them. I've seen some people that put their resources upside down, so it's easy to tell which one's are the resource. So I'll forget that and shuffle things in backwards if I do that.
Yeah, so we get 5 damage here. So, again, even with all these random units, we're still threatening lethal now.
Absolutely.
We haven't played a single card this whole game that costs more than 4, other than Hyperspace Disaster. That's the only card we've played. No, I guess one Rival's Fall, right?
Yeah, or 2, one from the resource row and one from. So blue removal spells are the only things that we played that cost more than 4.
The rest of this game, we've just been playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost cards.
Yeah, and damage adds up over 20 turns. Your one attack guy will deal 20 damage, and that's about where we're at.
And this is funny because every time we use tech here from the row, it's like drawing an extra card.
Yeah, we're digging one deeper still for those Lukes and home ones because as soon as he replaces one with tech, he can play that the next turn.
Looks like you put down a U-wing. I think I recognize that Hyperspace. Maybe it's not.
Replacing again.
Yeah. Recycling. It's whatever. Maybe it was like a direct hit or something.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what it is. He's flashing it really
it was a
quickly.
blue card. It's pretty sure it was,
it looks like John scoops it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a matchup for Ray that they want to see.
Yeah.
Like, every round of every event.
Yeah, and we saw there exactly what you were saying. Like, he has all this top end, all this inevitability in the late game. He didn't get there, and it still didn't matter. He was still able to close out the game just with the combination of removal spells and small guys that Han just couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
Even if he bounced them with cunning, there's more. There were 4 or 5 guys down there.
Yeah. Well, we saw the main cards, right? You know, we saw Blue Leader,
Mm-hmm.
we saw the Eager Escort, we saw the Hyperspace Disaster, we saw Direct Hit.
Yeah, we saw all the sideboard. He didn't see his he didn't see his big hitters, but he saw all his sideboard cards. So that was a huge help.
And then, you know, you just get chunked for 2-3 at a time by, you know, Mina, Akbar, you know, whatever. And, like, eventually you're going to get to 30.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So, guys, that was the last round of Swiss of Pool A. So what we're going to do now is we're going to end the stream very shortly, very temporarily, because YouTube does not like long VODs, and this lets us break it up evenly. So we're going to end this stream, which is going to end as Pool A. Courtney just put a link in the chat. We're going to have a new stream start up for Pool B imminently. This one, you may see this guy on the other side of the stream in Pool B, along with the other KTOD teammates, so stay tuned for that. A lot of good players still going in Pool B. We're going to do all 7 rounds of Swiss for Pool B today, starting in
about an hour.
An hour, 40 minutes to an hour's time. We will start Pool B. You will see myself and Josh Snyder back for that, casting round 1 of Pool B at the link Courtney put in the description. So again, go to that link. The stream will start shortly. We'll probably leave it on the stream starting soon, screen for a while, just so you guys can hang out and chat and just hear us when our voices come back on. So that is it for Pool A. I am Jeff Creasy of the Bothan Network, here with John Tata of KTOD, and we'll see you guys in about an hour. Thanks for hanging out.
Yep. See you later.